We're good? Okay. Good. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. We have a good turnout. It's always good to see our residents here. Thank you so much. And your guest speakers, it's always good. Ms. Ray, do you want to, okay, approval of the agenda? Can I get a motion? Thank you. Can I get a second?
Second.
Any nays? Okay, the agenda's been approved, Ms. Ray?
Yes,
You want to take the roll call, please?
Mayor Linda Monroe,
Yes.
Councilman Amanda Anderson. Yes. Councilman Anita Anderson.
Yeah.
Mayor Pro Tem Chu,
Yes.
Councilman Faith Ford, not here. Councilman Richard James. And, Councilman, Administrator, Chief of Police. That's fine.
You know, they don't vote, but that's good. It's good to know you approve. We love it.
Okay, now we love it.
She was the wrong one.
I apologize. I'm not gonna,
We're a team here.
yeah,
tonight.
sorry
Okay.
about that.
We got it.
All right, so we have, Ms. Wren, I know that you and our chief. For everybody who's new here, this is our town administrator, because you see our names
Hi,
up
how are
here.
you?
Joy Wren,
How are you?
our chief of police, Daryl Morgan. Our assistant TA, Ms. Ron Treese Gibson, and property standards, Desiree Montgomery. Okay, so, you want to do your favorite, the meeting rules?
Yes. The mayor and council invite and welcome comments at public meetings. Mayor or chair will recognize you. Please introduce yourself at the podium. Spelling your last name for recording purposes and give the name of your street and block number. Example, 4300 block of 34th Street. Time limits for speaking are indicated on the meeting agenda. While speaking, please maintain courteous tone and avoid personal attacks. If you wish to lodge a complaint about the performance or conduct of any town employee, please bring your concern to the attention of the town administrator, who will look into the matter and respond to you. As a courtesy to the other residents and businesses, the council requests that speaker not use specific addresses or names of the individuals when describing a situation or making a complaint unless the name or address is essential to an understanding of the situation or complaint. Noting the block is preferred over specific address. Code enforcement and public safety issues should first be brought to the attention of the appropriate department. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so we will have, public comments. Any comments at this time?
Yes, we have one online. Ron Akers.
Okay. Former Councilwoman Akers.
You may want to take off mute.
Gonna come through, Jay?
Yes, 1 second.
Okay. On the back is Jay Ford, our intern. He's at Bowie State. He works, helps us with all of our tech, some of our tech. Oh, that's, we have somebody else, Jay. We can get to her on the second set if we can't do her now. There's somebody else. She said, Mr. Mack. Yes, sir.
How you doing? My name is Mac Davis, Davis.
Sir, would you like this?
Did you get his name, Miss Red?
We have a sign-in sheet. Is he
Can
signed
you
it?
sign that, sir?
He said,
Yes, he did.
Oh, he
He
signed
did,
it.
of
Thank
course,
you.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
You know I was late, so I missed out. Okay.
my name is Mac Davis. I live on Onslow Way. The part where the construction is going on that. And from what I'm seeing, the legal my neighborhood in a worse way than it was before with the easement and the depth that they went to put in the feature. The feature looked nice on the bed, but for that area That's not the right one for this area. Where we live at this point now, because of the destruction that happened and cutting out the trees that that gave the hills a foundation. All that is in subject to collapse. And, because now we have a valley and a mountain in our backyards. And for me, I mean, in my community, I've been there for over 30 years. This is a bad situation that it's in. I spoke to a gentleman that I know that works in that type of construction. And I explained to him about what happened. The first thing he asked me was, did they shore the foundation? I said, no. He said, y'all got a problem. Because at this point now, the easement, what they did, they took it all the way up to the back gates at Prescott. And now that part is erosion. And down in the bay, but they fixing erosion is there also. And so at this point, that shouldn't be happening. And they're putting different logs and wood and stuff in that bed to slow down the water from hitting certain areas to try to stop erosion. So at this point, I believe, and I'm not sure, that they knew what they were doing when they put that there, because they knew that the grade that they using wasn't right. And now there are some areas there where from where it was before, where the riverbed is at, it's about 15 to 17 foot drop. And that's deadly and dangerous for that area. I mean, I don't think nobody would have their kids playing back there. So at this point, the easement behind my house took out a lot of support trees that were holding up the walls. And now they took those trees out, they took the roots out, the roots there, at the bottom gonna die. And the pressure from the earth, they're gonna look for that space to fill it. So now therefore you have a fire. Thank you.
I hear you. I'm gonna say this respectful. That's an HOA. This is the town. We're all the town, but first of all, you would have to go on the board. So I can help, I have to do a sidebar. You understand where I'm going? But we have to do the sidebar, because this is town. That's an HOA. It's private. There's a memorandum of understanding agreement for snow removal. He's shaking his head. That's Pepco, as you know. It's a memorandum of understanding going on between the town for certain things that the town will take care of because of, in tax dollars, that. But when it comes to that, it's as though you're dealing with your private property.
Okay.
When it comes to the town interfering, if that's a good word to say. And I could go on because I got a lot to say about that. But I'm here representing the town as the mayor, not the HOA board. So I'm saying this with all respect, not to push you aside, but we would have to do that. You get our numbers, TA Ren, and we will do our best to help you and other people with this situation. Anybody else want to comment on that? You want to comment? No. Anyone else? Is that okay, Mr. Mack, for now? It's not a push.
Yes. I mean, so at this point, we're just going kind of shelf that.
It was a lot of people that came to the last meeting, but there's a lot of emails going back and forth, but this is not the time, right?
Yes, I understand.
So, thank you, sir, for understanding.
Yes, no problem.
Is, Ms. Akers, former Councilwoman Akers, she ready?
She came back and her audio was working, but then she left the meeting, so I'm not sure what happened.
All right, then. If she comes back, well, we still will give her the opportunity. Okay, acknowledgement of minutes?
Oh.
Oh, we got more, excuse me. Yes, sir. Oh, Mr. Parker. Did you sign in?
I did.
Yes, sir. Okay.
You won't need, that's all really loud.
Okay.
That's what people tell me. 1005 Brook Road, I just, wanted to thank everybody that I've like pestered to death about the nuisance property across the street. And that's really all I have to say. Thank you. It took a little bit, it took a village, but there's movement. So everybody's starting to be a little more optimistic about what's going on. So I appreciate everybody. I think I've touched everybody in this room, probably.
You're happy, you were happy today, weren't you? You're happy to see
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. You're very good, Mr. Parker, very good. Did you want to tell everybody real quick what it was? We got a couple minutes if you.
Sure,
What the problem was.
So about like in March, a couple that lived there for many, many years, just downsized and moved away and kind of somebody flipped the house and put a bunch of bathrooms in it. And so like 6 bedrooms, 6 baths and a Cape Cod. So the people that bought it, basically it's what I think is an illegal boarding house for the man that owns a lot of food trucks that are down on the mall. So at times there's 6 to 8 trucks on the street. Washing grease out of the grill into the gutter that runs into Chesapeake. Probably about a dozen young men living over there. And the trash situation was out of control. That's gotten much better. And I tried to talk to them as a friendly neighbor a couple times, but they just weren't really interested because it's not a home to them. They're just sleeping there. So yeah, it just, with the whole dynamics of the neighborhood changed a lot when they moved in. So, but anyway, that's pretty much what's going on. Everybody here has been very helpful. Trying to get me and the 3 sisters, as I refer to them, that live next door. And by the way, this property is not it's across the street in the unincorporated part or whatever you refer to it. So that complicated things. Things were just going into the 311 black hole. And so when I
Hey, can you turn that on?
anyway, I had a little bit of community development experience in Baltimore many years ago, so I kind of knew how to get this kind of started, just a matter of me getting to the right people. So, and I did, so we appreciate it. And I did call Whitney Mitchell today after we talked.
Yeah, oh, yeah, you called after we talked.
Yeah, we talked about 10 or 15 minutes, so.
That's short for you, but.
So anyway, thanks everybody for your, much appreciated.
Thank you so much.
Didn't come with a complaint.
Okay, Councilman Akers is on.
Okay. Councilwoman Akers?
Can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I just had a concern with the trying to see. It's a survey that was sent out to the residents. It was a public service and a safety survey that came out to our residents. I was a little concerned about the survey for several reasons. And I really don't know who drafted it up or who prepared the survey for circulation. It was circulated by a young lady from the police department. And when I asked her what the purpose of the survey was, she said she didn't know, that they just told her to circulate it and put down a number or something for the residents. I guess my next question would be, this document that came out to the residents, was it approved by our town administrator, or was it the mayor, or was it approved by the council before it was typed up and circulated door to door to our residents? This document could have been circulated just a little better. I do have some comments from and questions from other residents that I will talk later about in the town hall. I just want to address my personal issues with this letter. First of all, my request would have been, in order to know that this letter came from the town of Capitol Heights and it didn't come from me, it should have had the town's sealed stamped logo on it. Then I would have known as a resident, oh yes, this did come from the town of Capitol Heights, so let me read it. So that's why I wanted to know who drafted it up, and I still want that question answered. Also, when when we pass out things to our residents, we do have the option to say whether we want a copy or whether we're just going to answer these questions that were on the survey and just let it go. So, duplicate or carbon copy as far as circulating this survey would have been a lot help to us residents also, because instead of me having to ask the young lady who was circulating it what it was about, I would have had a copy of it where I could have brought this survey back down to the town administrator and we could have talked about it and maybe she could have explained it, or the police chief, whoever did it, or public works could have explained it a little bit better. So I just wanted to, I still don't know the purpose of the survey, and I would also like to know that. I don't have an issue with the survey. I just want when we do things like this and we put it out here to our residents that we do it the right way. And my suggestion is what I said, the stamp, the town of Capitol Heights logo stamp should have been on here. It should have been approved before it left out of the town hall, and the carbon copy should have been made for the residents. So I'm going to yield the floor for some answers because I did have 3 questions.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna yield the floor to council, and before that, I will yield it to, you want it, police chief?
I'd love to
Okay.
answer that question.
But
Ms. Kemp.
what I was going to say is, I can't speak for the whole council, but I never saw it, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
Hmm.
I heard about it, but I did not see it. So I will yield to you, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm the chief of police for those who maybe just walked in. Survey was conducted by the police department in tandem with the public works to have a sense of what the community was seeing and feeling about the services we are providing. Survey was drafted by myself and my staff. I have extensive background in writing surveys. I have worked on a survey committee in other departments. And the survey is also one of my performance measures as part of my job as a chief. I take homage with the fact that the young lady did not know which survey is for because she was trained extensively on how to go out and present the survey. It is not something we issue to the residents. We actually go door to door and ask that they would be willing to take a survey about public safety and public services in the space of policing and public works. Our goal was to understand how the community felt about the services they were getting in those 2 spaces, whether they saw the officers out performing their duties, whether they thought that the streets were safe to walk on, the streets were clean and sidewalks were be able to walk through the community on clean and safe sidewalks. It was not intended or directed towards any specific individual or individuals. It was really a very generic survey that I have worked on with other agencies, and the town administrator was given a copy of it prior to it going out. And again, it was one of my performance measures that I was tasked with when I became the chief of police. I think it's important to have a sense of what is going on, and we learned some very valuable data. I also would advise the council and the mayor and the community that the young lady is a recruit in the academy, so she's learning the community on foot. She's actually walking through the community as much as she can, but the biggest challenge we're having is a lot of folks don't want to take the survey. They don't have time, or they just not interested in participating in it. But there's no requirement for it. There's no, it's very generic. It's no specific names and persons. We don't take your name or your contact information. We just use your street and your house number as a document to track, make sure we're not duplicating. And I think the data we're collecting at this point has been very helpful and will continue to be helpful as we look at expanding our roles in the community and getting away from certain techniques and using other techniques. So the only way you can do that is to understand what the community's needs and the thoughts are in these spaces. And I will also close by saying that I felt so far what we're getting data-wise in the space of officers being known was kind of problematic. I mean, a lot of people don't know the name of their officers. That was troubling. I was very happy with the overall sense of the survey from the public safety side. And I think Public Works should be very happy that they got very good reviews. They see people out there working and keeping the streets clean. So I know Councilman Aker has some concerns. We talked about it, but I think she should be very thankful that we're able to get this kind of data. Surveying is very hard work, and it's very time consuming. I didn't do anything on emails or sending flyers out because that's just too expensive. And that should answer all your concerns and questions.
All right, thank you, Chief. I'm just going to just so you, in all, you've had your 3 minutes, but do you want to say something else, Council? I will open the floor to you for another minute. Is that okay?
Thank you so much. I'm not going to dwell on this too much because we'll talk about it on the 27th at the town hall meeting. But it only would have took a second, Chief, just to put the seal on here saying that this is from the town of Capitol Heights. It was typed up there, which is fine, but we have a seal down there to seal documents that goes out to our residents. It goes out anywhere. They should be sealed to let us know that yes, this came from Capitol Heights. So I'm gonna yield the floor. I'll leave it alone and we'll speak on it on the 27th.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
So I'd like to have a few words
we have-
as well.
Well, we have one more person.
I called,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's
we
talking.
have one after,
Yeah.
for,
I was saying the same thing you were saying.
okay, well, we'll do,
Yeah, I was talking to the person saying.
first. Okay, all right.
Miss Jason.
So
Oh, 1 second. Someone's next.
Good evening. I am Renita Kaysen. I own property with 5600 block on Mount Runway.
Do you, so that way you can speak louder and hear clear.
You okay over there?
Good evening. My name is Renita Kaysen. I own property in the 5600 block of Mount Runway. The last meeting I attended, one of the topics was tenants' complaints as it relates to landlords and maintenance of property. I asked about the process that was in place to inspect all homes, and I would like to know what the status of that is so far. I also stated that I recommended that the elected officials to modify the yearly rental inspection to every other year and start inspecting the non-rental properties, because it's mandated that we do yearly inspections of all properties. As of today, I have not seen any topics of that nature on the agenda. With that being said, I would like to know how many rental properties are there in the town? How many have been inspected? How many have been inspected? How many municipal infractions as it relates to home inspection have there been written, and how many are non-compliant? I asked these questions. I'm sorry. Okay, sorry. I asked these questions because I believe there's an impact on the quality of life of the residents and an impact on the property within the town of Capitol Heights. Under this administration, I do not believe that there have been any municipal infractions as it relates to home maintenance and inspections. If I'm wrong, I hope somebody can correct me. There have not been any closed or open. Most of the time, when there's a municipal infraction, especially if it goes to court, if it's not non-compliant. And I find it hard to believe that everybody that has gotten a municipal infraction in the town has complied. I know that everybody has not complied with their municipal infractions. So therefore, it should be going to court. So I would like to know those numbers. I say this because I feel that there's no oversight in that particular area. Because I am a landlord. I paid my fees and inspection in June of 2024, and I have yet to have an inspection. So therefore, I'm non-compliant. If something happens at 5612 Mount Runway, that's my address, my rental property. One of the first things you're asked, oh, did Kason have a rental license? No, Kason does not. And it's not Kason's fault that Kason does not have a rental license. It was postponed, which they called me the first time, they canceled, and it was postponed. When I received the call back, they said, okay, well, we can do it in October. I was like, October, really? October? Now, inspections are done on Tuesdays. I don't know if you all are aware, but on Tuesdays. So if I'm behind on my job, then I'm gonna put extra time in. What happened to Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday? Those days are available to do inspections as well. So that leaves me and other landlords liable for a lot of things. We're not in compliance. And I would like to know how many are not in compliance. I don't come to all the meetings, but I know I have not heard any reports on infractions that we used to get. I haven't heard anything in reference to that. As I stated earlier, how many rental properties you have, the town has. Just violations in general. I have not heard that from this administration yet. So hopefully that's something we will start hearing. And basically that is one of my biggest concerns. I would like to know where the oversight is, because there is no way from June to now, my property has not been inspected. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. You may not have the staff to do it, but if you don't have the staff to do it, then I think something else needs to be put in place. Are my fees gonna be prorated that I pay? Because my license is for a year. So am I gonna get prorated fees?
Do you have another one? Because you're two times on this.
Yeah, okay.
Both of them. You have another one?
That's the end. And the second one is for the agenda. So far as the attachments. When I look at the agenda, I don't see any resolutions attached unless I missed it. I didn't see any of the resolutions.
It's online, yeah.
Okay, I didn't see them. I don't know when they were posted, but when I looked at the agenda, I didn't see the attached resolutions and ordinance that's going to be presented today. Maybe it was an overlook on my site, on me, but I did not see that. So that's one of the things I would like to see if it has not been there.
Copies of stuff right now, because normally I thought it was putting on the side table, so you.
That's the agendas.
No, the attachments. Okay, no attachments, yeah. Okay,
Thank you for your time.
thank you. I'm gonna yield on that. Your first thing there, but regarding the attachments, I was not aware, I don't think the council was aware, but it's supposed to be ready for the residents. Because we used to have it outside, then it was over here. So I don't know, maybe today was because, I don't know, but we'll do better on that one. We'll do better. In regard to that one, I'm gonna yield to you because a lot of the things you asked obviously would not be readily available at a public meeting. So, Ms. Wren, whatever the notes are, and then you will get with the
Yes.
property owner, is that okay to say
Yes.
that?
Yes,
Okay, but insofar as your questions, what am I saying, logical questions, I'm going to yield to, Ms. Montgomery?
Yes.
Because you had started this conversation with former Councilwoman Kason last time, so where are we with that?
Good evening, everyone. I don't think that there has been any official movement on those numbers on the inspection process. I don't know if everyone is formally notified. I don't necessarily handle the inspection part anymore. I am able to provide you the number of rental properties we have, the number that have been inspected, the number that have municipal infractions, the numbers that have been cited or fined for failure to obtain the license or for failure to correct the violations. I can provide that information to you via email if you'd like, but as far as the inspections, I would have to yield to TA for that part.
Is that answer for her to give you that in hard copy okay?
That's fine.
Okay, as long as can you give her a time frame? When would you get that to?
I can have that number for you by Friday. The information that you requested that I have by Friday. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, right?
In terms of process that you were referring to, I have to get back with you because we had some personnel changes. And I'll get with the inspector to give you the information you require in terms of the process, in addition to what Ms. Montgomery is going to provide you.
That really doesn't answer my question. Because I paid for my property inspection license in June. It was in October. So therefore, like I stated, if something happens with the property, one of the first things the county and the town will be asking, does she have a rental license? And the answer is no. I do not have a rental license. And it's been since June when I paid my fee. So therefore, anyone, me or anyone else, is gonna be prorated because it's for a year. That means I don't have a license for you.
I appreciate your question. It's a valid question. But like I said, if you had this in June, I was unaware that you had this schedule or since June. If you brought it to my attention earlier, I would have this taken care of as soon as possible. So I apologize it had taken this long, but I was unaware of your situation. And you're right, we need to look into this and be more vigilant about it. But at this point in time, frankly speaking, I'm just grateful that you brought this to my attention. And then, like I said, now that I know, I'm gonna be proactively on it.
Okay, I appreciate that. That's what I said to me was there's no oversight. And I know you can't do everything, but some oversight, something has to be done. So everybody has a check and balance.
Of
You know,
course.
so it has to be something needs to be done. I was patient. I didn't say anything because I know everybody falls behind. But then when I started thinking, especially on all the things, the fire that happened last week, and I'm like, oh, maybe the fire was at my place. The first thing they're gonna ask me if I have a rental license. You know, those things started going through my mind. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna be quiet. I'm gonna come here Monday and say something because the explanation that was given to me, you fell behind, and I was like, okay, that's fine. You know, but I'm sorry.
But finish up.
Okay, but like I said, there's other days besides Tuesday. What happened to Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? If you're behind, uh, you're gonna make efforts to ask for other dates. And I don't think that has been done. And I'm sure that I'm not the only one, which I've been told by other landlords that they haven't had theirs either. So that's a problem for me, and I don't know whether it's a problem for the town that we're concerned about, but I think that's something that the body should be concerned.
And I agree, these are very valid points, but I just wish you kind of brought it to my attention, you know, if this happened in June and we're already in September, I just kind of wish I knew it more than 3 months, passes. But like I said, now that we're aware, we will basically be on it.
Thank you, Ms. Friend. Does the council have anything to add? Anybody? Okay, thank you. With somebody else?
Yeah.
So I'd like to have a few words as well.
Okay, you identify yourself.
So we are residents.
Excuse me,
I'm sorry.
please identify yourself, please. Who you are?
Sure. My name is Sima Majnouni, and my husband's here with me. His name is Parsa Haydarpour. So we
Okay.
are the owner of lot 6005 Old Central Avenue, Capitol Heights, located in Capitol Heights. So I'd like to have a few words because to us it's very frustrating that the process taking too long. So if you allow me, I'd like to have a few words with regards to our concern.
That is fine, but knowing the nature of this conversation, I would say, be cautious in what you say. Okay? Because I know the nature of what's going on. So proceed, please.
So yeah, the main concern we have is as a resident and supporter of local farmers market. So as I mentioned, we are frustrated by Capitol Height and PG County, and also mayor and council member and Ms. Montgomery refusal to bring a permanent farmers market ordinance forward for consideration. So we've kept emailing you for many, many times, and every time the response we received from you is you will bring that ordinance forward for consideration. I know based on law, usually mayor and council members should approve any ordinance that is not against law or constitution. And I don't see any point that our concern or our request is against constitution and laws of either US federal government or PG County or city of Capitol Heights. But despite like securing and renting our lot to a tenant, to prospective tenant, we were forced to cancel a lease due to your basically the city inaction. So also like the delay has been detrimental um, um, at our interest. The concern right now we have is we would like to ask you to at least like send us instruction with regard to whatever documentation you need from our side, or bring that ordinance for consideration, because it's been so frustrating and we had to cancel. It's been more than a year. Additionally, in a last conversation you had with my husband on Friday, you brought something about residency requirement. And I'm not sure like what exactly residency requirement means. Do we need to meet any requirements? Again, my request from you is just to send us the list of things we need to do, and we would like to move forward in process because it's been such a frustrating process for us. So if you need additional document from our side, just let us know. But I honestly don't know why it's taking too long.
Um, what happened with this? Because everyone here is getting the tail end of it. I believe in free speech. This has been going on for a while, threat of a lawsuit, this is the thing. But what I'm saying, what I said to these principals, the situation, you're allowed to come to the meeting and express your concerns. I told them they could come. And so, I'm not surprised at this, but I'm a little bit surprised at how it was delivered. I thought it would be a different. But anyway, there's a lot of things going on with this situation, so, and some I'm not at liberty to say, so. We will go back to that because you are going to speak on the ordinance. Yes, ma'am. For the,
Yes. She'll get some answers to her questions.
what's the word?
Farmers market.
Farmers market, Charlie, thank you so much. Okay, so, first up, we have Ms. Wren. Do we have anybody else? Anybody else? Okay. Ms. Wren, do you want to do the announcement? We have, Pepco here.
Yes, we have,
Oh,
I'm sorry.
acknowledgement of the minutes.
Yes.
I was corrected by Councilwoman Anita, correct. Acknowledgement, everybody got the minutes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so are we able to approve those minutes?
No.
Hands up. Yes, ma'am.
I just see one issue with, number 4. Here it says, police force update stop sign camera ordinance 2024-3. This was actually, the stop sign camera ordinance was actually removed from the minutes, and the police department update was in its place. So it's just the verbiage that needs to be changed.
You got that, Ms.
Yeah.
Wren?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other changes, council? So can we approve with that change, or you want to come back and revisit it 2 weeks later?
With that change.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve it?
I'll make a motion to approve it as with the noted changes.
Yes, sir.
Second.
Second? Okay, all council? Any nays? Okay. Agenda's approved, Ms. Wren, with the discussed change.
Minutes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Minutes, thank you. Okay, first off, we have a presentation of the town hall renovation from Miss Gail Worsley of W Architects. And I will preface with her.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Gail Worsley. I'm the principal of W Architects.
Okay. What we, just so everybody knows, in attendance and period, we have, not just us, municipalities have COVID money, ARP funds. That funding at one time could only be used for, is it gonna be two? You good? I don't know how, where it stands about this. You wanna see this? Could only be used for certain things. And one of the things we did was we gave our residents a portion of the money. Council voted, both former administration and current voted to give the residents a portion of the money. Beyond that, there were only certain things you could do with the money. Pay bills, et cetera, things, sort of intangible things. However, in 22, Ben Cardin, our retired state senator, put legislation on the books that said that municipalities could now use the money for their infrastructure for any revenue loss during COVID. So therefore, we are trying to use the money for revenue loss, but we only have until December 31st to account for that money. Now, some people already know this, but for those that don't, that's why they're here, this architect firm. For those that don't, we've already done the downstairs. The community room is beautiful. Any day now, I've been saying that for a month, but any day now, we're gonna be doing the ribbon cutting to open it. So what we are going to do now, we've got bond bill money to knock out this, do a whole new facade up here. We've got the funding for that. And also to supplement that funding, we have to use some of the COVID money. In order to use the COVID money, we have to have a contract in place. That's the contract. That's not putting the RFP out, the request for a proposal. That's not doing all the architectural. That's not doing all the survey. That's not the permits. We have to have that contract in place in a little over, September? Less than 3 months. And for those who deal with economic development, that's not a lot of time. So the reason I'm saying that is so you know that that's why this architectural firm is here to tell us what their proposal is to do for this facility. You got it.
Hi, my name is Gail Worsley. I'm with the W Architecture Group, and this is my partner, Toussaint Wallace. We prepared a little set of drawings for you so you can take a look at what we've expanded on. So the idea is that we're going to make this meeting room a bit bigger, enlarge it. Thank you. So if I can start with the existing, actually. We are currently right in this little room right here. This room is almost maybe a little bit bigger than the lobby. So we want to expand going in this direction and create a larger meeting room for the public and for the council. And we'd also like to add some handicap facilities, have a handicap accessible restrooms for the public, create a more accessible entrance for the public as well. So we'll be using this door will be the main entrance. It will become the main entrance. We're trying to create, in both schemes, we wanted to create a way to separate the offices a bit and give you some security on that side. So if there's a meeting, you don't necessarily have to have the office open. You'd have access, but it wouldn't be necessarily open to the public, and vice versa. When the state work days and the meeting room is not necessary, then all of the public activity would be focused on the office side. And so there are two options that we wanted to sort of delve into at later time, but they're here for your reviews. Some of it is just layout, how the room is configured, how the chairs would be configured, how the council would sit. Those are two options. But we wanted to try to create more. There's also, I think, only 2 offices and they need 3. So we were trying to create 3 private offices for the staff here. They'll be here on a daily basis along with the administrative staff that works with the public. And then we took the last sheet. I don't want to pick up because I'd love to answer the questions. You'll see on the 5th page is the site. And you'll see the existing site, the building on the site, and then you'll see how the addition will interact with the existing sort of configuration. We are trying our best to impact slightly, and especially during construction, we will impact part of the park that's here on the side. But we feel like most of it will remain intact. We'll have to restore it, but once we get with a contractor, we'll be able to see how we can facilitate means and methods to be able to minimize the impact on because we don't want to close off that area so the kids will have their place to play. But we probably will have to do some slight modification, but we're not going to encroach too much, other than the one that's directly right here on the side of the building. And we wanted to try to integrate the facade. So that's the front page. Kind of modernize a little bit. Create a formal entry and covered entry here. Update the windows, perhaps, and then do this part is the addition. Give you a nice big letters so you know that you're here, and then the one maybe the corner would be punched up a bit so that you'll be able to see it on both directions, which marking the town hall. So I'm happy to open up to questions. I know you haven't had a chance to look at it for very long, but I would be happy. I'm open to your feedback. Yep.
I chair.
Okay.
So we're gonna do the council first, then we'll open it, since this is not like mini charrette, so I'll open it to the council first. Councilman Amanda.
Thank you for providing this information. I have no questions at this moment, but I may to the field, but right now I do not.
I'll be happy to share with you, yes, with all of you as well.
Yes, ma'am. I'm trying to figure out, and I even with my glasses on, I'm trying to figure out the square footage we have now, and then after, what are we talking about? How much bumping out are we doing? How much square footage?
So it's a little under 900 square feet that we would be enlarging the space by.
Okay.
Yeah.
900.
I'm not quite sure what this is, but I can get you that information for this. So we'd be going, it's 30 by about 29, so 30, it's a little under 900 square feet.
Okay. Ideal. Good evening. And I have two questions. One, are you all not going up, going to try to go up?
We were only going out, yeah,
You're only gonna go out?
yes.
And
But it is a possibility to go up if you'd like, if you need more space, a second floor on the side, we certainly can look at that.
now I'm looking at the feeding, we have two pictures here of the dining. And as you can see right now, we're going to front of up here. And it well as, it's only one way up and one way out.
Yes.
Okay. The second drawing I do like is this an exit on both ends. On your first drawing, it looks like we're back at the same position we're in now. Just one way in and one way out, or what's that?
They're both, there's a ramp on one side because you do have to have handicap accessibility, even though I've raised the platform about a foot, similar to what you have. And then there's stairs on the other side. So both of them have the same way of getting out.
Those are my main concerns.
Yes.
The way of exiting,
And there is also a direct exit to the street from this council, from this room. So right now, because you're going from the office into this room and then out, you can't currently do that under the code, the building code.
Thank you. Thank you.
Councilman Williams.
I see.
Mhm.
I That's a situation of like option 2. Very well. Individual citizens. I do.
Councilman James.
Yes, thank you. Yes. I think for the option 1. So that way we keep that would make the lot entrance. Yes. And I think that provides more of a way of keeping it. The plans are well laid out. Yes, we have a kitchenette, thank you. And 88 on this level. Yeah, so, yeah, option one is very, very feasible. That's my comment. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, and we can combine the two. So it's, oh, so, just
I'm,
We will also probably have, because it's contractual, once we get, we'll have to have a closed session on that.
absolutely.
You know that.
Yep.
Okay, so are you okay now? You want to take over? I'm joking.
No.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, excuse-
I just had
Councilwoman
one
Mandel.
quick question.
Sure.
Hearing Councilman James speak, the entrance for option two, where would that, how would that change?
So this would be the main entrance, this one here, and we got rid of, in option two, the one on the side is not there. The offices are along that side of the building.
Okay, but there's still ramp access on option, on both options, one and two, into entering the building.
Correct.
Correct. I think for the only concern with like option two is stationary seating. I think it limits how you can use a room when you have stationary seating. So I would be a proponent of having the flexibility of the seating to move that around. So we can take it more into control in our own hands of how the room is utilized for all types of things in the future to come. And I also, if there is possibility or options to build up, to provide more meeting space for other programs and activities to take place in the future, I would be supportive of that as well.
And I can look at that.
Thank you.
And that's going to be a big increase, right, to build up.
Yes, yeah, that will-
That's all. But if you could, because two have mentioned it, Councilwoman Anita and Councilman Amanda, can you give us just a projection of what type of costing?
Sure.
Ladies like to see that, okay,
Absolutely.
thank you so much. Okay, the floor. Or, what is it, Zoom, Teams?
I guess I have one question not necessary to the architecture, but what about, I guess, you talked about a splash part in the back, so how is that gonna impact the splash part? But she said she was using the side of the building as a splash part for the side.
Flash pad?
So where is that, where was that gonna be located?
We can always relocate that, but insofar as Councilman James and TA
Yes.
Red?
Can I speak?
Yeah.
Yeah. The addition from Councilwoman Casey, it does not interfere with the proposed site for the splash park.
Okay.
The splash park is where the existing circle is,
Mhm.
with the concrete seating. That area is going to be our future splash park.
Okay, thank you.
So this addition is extend this wall straight out 30 feet and you come down about 29 and it comes back to the building.
Okay, thank you.
And we'll maintain our walk too with the addition.
Anything? Yes, you good? You good?
Thank you.
Anybody else? Any other questions from the floor?
I have a question.
Reverend Duggar?
Reverend Douglas, first.
Yes, sir, that's our Reverend Duggar, Pastor Duggar.
My question just, the exterior, the pulpitude, in terms of aesthetically, the mismatched bricks out on this side, will that be uniform in some kind of way? I don't know if that come under your purview.
Yes, they would. We're going to take a look at that elevation, see how we can turn the corner nicely and start to integrate. Maybe stucco might be a way to kind of soften that and take care of the different materiality. But it will be a budget. We'll have to look at all things according to the cost. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Council.
Pastor Duggar, you know I brought that up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Exterior, I think. Okay. Thank you, anybody else, any more questions on that? Oh, anybody on, Dave, anybody on,
Yes, Councilwoman Akers.
okay, Councilwoman Akers? No? Okay. I don't think. Okay, then let's keep on. All right, are you?
Yes.
Good presentation, are you? I didn't get your name.
Tucson.
Okay, Mr. Tucson, excuse me if I didn't.
Okay.
Okay, well, thank you. Well, yeah,
Thank you, guys. We look forward to working with you.
fine. Okay, you're welcome to stay, whatever, but it's up to you. But we'll notice if you walk out because you're in the front.
Yeah. I'll just like take our seat.
Mr. Sakata, this is Alberto Sakata from Pepco. He's a principal at Pepco. One of the things he said when he said, Mayor, can I get on the agenda? Which I did tell T.A. Wren earlier today, I found very interesting was, he's familiar with us doing upgrades. Because he's one of the people I worked with in the beginning, but he's got promoted, so now he's a bigger shot than he was. But one of the things he did was his team did a survey of our lights in the town. The benefit to us is if we are paying a higher bill than we should versus are we underpaying what we should pay? The findings were we're paying higher than we should for 30 lights, and it's a lot of money, and we will be reimbursed. So as the town, so you got it.
Thank you, Mayor. And first of all, thank you for having me here. It's a blessing, for Pepco to be here and to be able to address, you, Mayor, and Council. So thank you for the time. So I just wanted to quickly give a little bit of background information about the streetlight survey. So about a couple of years ago, a former Maryland delegate, Al Carr, made a formal complaint to the Public Service Commission against Pepco with regards to our billing practices. And the Public Service Commission mandated Pepco to work with municipalities and the county to fix and address these billing discrepancies. And so the best thing that we did, that we thought we could do, was to do a survey of all of our streetlights within our service territory in both Montgomery and Prince George's County, and obviously the municipalities therein. I'm happy to say that the surveys have been concluded for all the municipalities, and we're currently working with Prince George's County now. And then after that's done, we'll be working with Montgomery County. With specific detailing to the town of Capitol Heights. Right now, preliminarily, we see, and I believe I sent out some information here. If you look at the second page, we found a total of 384 streetlights within your boundaries. And that breakout is there's 6 streetlights that are near private customers. There are 28 streetlights that are near MDOT roadways. And then there's 350 streetlights that are within the municipal boundary. So the ask of Pepco is for the town of Capitol Heights to go through the list and accept or reject what we found in our survey. What could be some rejections? So for example, let's say we found here 28 streetlights near an MDOT roadway. Maybe there's 2 or 3 or 4 lights that, are on a county road. Then you would say, no, we reject these because these belong to the county. And then we would just exclude those from your account. Another way that you might reject something would be, we have it listed as a Cobra head, and it's not a Cobra head. It's a different type of light, right? So you would just, correct that, and then we would go ahead and update that. However, what I do want to say is that our surveyors have gone through a lot of quality assurance. Very, very good quality assurance. And what we're going to do at the conclusion of the survey is we're going to provide all of this information for the town, so that if in some future moment you want to make changes to your streetlights, when you go to a contractor, typically they charge for this information. We're going to be providing that to you for free. Part of what we provide to you will be a picture of every single streetlight. So you'll have every single streetlight with a picture, right? Because sometimes, we've worked with some municipalities and they've said, hey, we lived here for 20, 30 years. I don't believe that there's a streetlight there. And then we show them the picture like, oh, you know what? That's right. Yes, it's at the corner of that cul-de-sac that I don't really go down, right? But we do have it. So there's going to be a record, a photo of every single streetlight, and every single streetlight will have at least 20 attributes that will be listed for that particular streetlight. Okay. Now, when we get to the money, because I think that's where, we all want to get down to. Right now, on your bill, we're billing you for 380 streetlights. So once we get feedback from the town of Capitol Heights in terms of accepting or rejecting, the streetlights the survey that we gave you, then what we'll do is we'll perform it'll be a billing summary. And that'll show you what's currently on your bill versus what we're proposing to be on your bill. By we, that means Pepco and the town of Capitol Heights. One of the things that we want to ensure is that this entire process is done together. One of the feedback that we had when we started this whole process a little over a year ago is that it seemed like Pepco was doing streetlights to the municipalities, not with the municipalities. So, we've taken that to heart. We've done course correction. We have, new leadership now, and, we're listening to you, and we want to obviously take all of your feedback into consideration. So, once that billing summary is shown, it'll show you what your currently is on your bill, and then what we're going to propose your new bill is going to look like. Right now, it looks like you'll have at least 30 less streetlights, and that will obviously produce a credit. Okay, and what Pepco has decided is that we're going to go back 36 months for that credit, and that credit, I can't give you what that credit is right now because every other year the rates may change, right, and their taxes that are that change as well. So once we agree to a final number and that billing summary is agreed to by the town, you'll sign just a letter acknowledging that everything is approved. And then what we'll do is that goes in our records so that when we go to the Public Service Commission, we can say, yes, we've worked with the town of Capitol Heights and they've agreed with the findings and they agree with what their new bill is going to look like. When that happens, then we give a green light to our billing department for them to run the bills and with the new numbers, and at that point it'll produce a credit. So you'll have a line item credit on your bill, which basically will take over. It'll absorb any future streetlight bills coming in, or you'll have the option of saying, "Hey, Alberto, you know what? We rather have the check." Right? And so we can do that as well. We can have that credit given to the town in the form of a check. So that's where we are right now. And the next action item would be for our street or outdoor lighting group, which was a brand new department that was set up to address all of our street lights, to meet with the town and go through this exercise of seeing which streetlights you accept, which ones you reject. And that was the main part of why I'm here this evening, to talk about the streetlights. But I also am here this evening to introduce a colleague of mine who will be working with the town of Capitol Heights. That's Veronica McTeer here. So we're colleagues. We work side by side. I'm not going anywhere. It's just that she was assigned to municipalities in Prince George's County, and I was assigned to municipalities in Montgomery County. But we back each other up, and we'll be supporting each other. So I'm always available 24/7. I still will be, Mayor. So anything that you guys need, please, feel free to reach out. And now, if there's any questions or comments from you, Mayor, I'll be happy to speak. Absolutely.
Yeah, I had some questions, but I'll open it to the floor first. We'll start down here.
Thank you for your
Yes, sir.
presentation, sir. I have questions.
Thank you for your presentation and the question. Excellent presentation as well. Thank you. Thank you.
Sir, thank you for the presentation. You say you all are gonna take 30 lights away from our bill, is that?
Yes, ma'am. So right now, it could be more. And it could be less if, let's say, you say, well, these streetlights over here, they belong to us. Then we'll put those on your bill, but we haven't seen too much of that.
So.
No. So what'll happen is, so let's say there are lights that are on county roads. Okay, and you've been paying for those. You'll say, no, we reject these. These don't belong to us. These belong to the county. And so what'll happen is when we meet with the county, we have hundreds or maybe a few thousand streetlights that were rejected by municipalities, and the county's going to be responsible for those. And the counties understand that they've been underbilled. So. Yes, ma'am.
So.
So as from what I understand, you won't be responsible for paying the monthly charge on those going forward. Those will be absorbed by Prince George's County.
State 3332.
Yes.
So, so the state will will have whatever, but what we paid for to have those particular lights be put in, so will the town get that money back?
That I can't answer right now. That is very much above my pay grade, so to speak. But I can't give you an answer on that. I think when we get together with our outdoor lighting team, they'll be able to give you a better answer. I believe that the town, believe that those lights belong to them. So you made the payment, you made the investment to brighten those lights, across, they were like 12 or 13 lights, if I'm not mistaken, 13 lights. So that work was done. Now we're going and we're looking and saying, well, yes, these actually belong to the county. Maybe, I don't know if any regress would be from Pepco, it may be from the county. But but I don't know.
If the movie lights, we had to pay for them because Pepco wouldn't pay for those brighter lights, which we are trying to brighten our town up.
Yes, ma'am.
So that wouldn't be something that we assume that they will allow.
Okay, yeah, so right now, any municipality can upgrade their lights to LEDs, right? And there's charges associated with that. Typically, what municipalities are doing is they're holding back right now because they understand that Pepco is in the process of submitting a new streetlight tariff. So they don't want to make an investment until they see what that tariff is going to be. Having said that, once we submit to the Public Service Commission what our proposed streetlight tariff is going to be, there's going to be three options for upgrading the streetlights to LEDs. Right? It's a separate conversation from this survey, but I can quickly go into it. The three options are: the first one is a kayak option, which would be the municipality would pay upfront for the conversion of all their streetlights to LEDs. Okay, and that's that charge. I can't tell you what it is right now because that's going to be in the proposed tariff. Okay, but it's a substantial amount. So typically municipalities will go with the second option. The second option that we're going to present is a non-kayak option. That non-kayak option is one where Pepco will charge zero for the installation upfront of those, for the upgrading of those LEDs. And what it will do is those charges will be baked into your bill going forward, with the understanding that the savings that are generated from switching to the LEDs will absorb the charges that you would have paid upfront, to have those streetlights converted. So it should be a wash, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more, but it should be a wash. And then the third option that's presented to the municipalities would be outright ownership. So that's where you would come to PEPCO and say, hey, we want to own our streetlights, right? And so those options, the ownership option, you can do right now, but I wouldn't recommend it because right now, the way PEPCO is looking at the streetlights mandated by the Public Service Commission is that we take all of our streetlights and we take like an average, of what they're worth. So you may have a streetlight that's, 30 years old, right? But it's that may be worth, I don't know, just to throw out a number, $100, right? It's almost worthless, right? But you're gonna have to pay a couple $1,000s for it. To do what? To take it and scrap it and then put in your own LEDs. So right now, the purchase option, it's not one that I would recommend. I would wait until after we submit this streetlight tariff, and then the other municipalities can make a better educated decision on that. But those would be the three options that we're going to put forward, and that should happen before the end of this year.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Two quick questions.
Yes, ma'am.
This question is, well, it's not a question, it's a comment. Just to get an understanding, what you just presented today to us is just to notify us and let us know that you were doing a survey to give us a count of how many lights Pepco owns in the town. Is that correct?
So almost. So the survey has already been done. Yeah, the survey was done earlier this year. And so what we've given you are the results of that survey.
Okay.
So now we want to meet with you so that you have an opportunity to say, we've looked at these, and let's say, for example, if you look at the third page, there's a street light map here. It might be the fourth page, no, the third page. And there's a hyperlink there. And if you click on that hyperlink, you can take this streetlight map and zoom in on it, and it'll have every single streetlight that was surveyed. And you can click on any one of those streetlights, and it'll give you all of the attributes for that streetlight, the pole number, the lamp type, the wattage, right? So, some municipalities, they're really into streetlights, so they like to check every single streetlight. Let me see here, is this right? Is this, and that's fine. They can do that. And we found that, our quality assurance is excellent. So we don't see any issues with that. What we're really trying to get from the town of Capitol Heights are your rejections. I'm saying like, no, these don't belong to us. See, all these along the street, these belong to the state, or all of these along the street, they belong to the county. And then we remove those from your count. And then what we'll do is then we'll prevent like a bill adjustment, a bill comparison sheet for you.
Okay. Now, my second question. If the poles belong to Pepco and Pepco owns the poles, why is it that we have to pay for lighting? Why is it that why is it that we have to pay for our lighting? Now, I can see if we want to upgrade because Pepco offers a generalized lighting. Okay, we only offer the 600-watt bulb or whatever the case may be. But if we want to upgrade, I can understand it. But in general, Pepco owns the poles, so Pepco owns the lights, right?
Correct.
So if we replace, aren't we having a, okay,
Excuse me, I'm just gonna be,
okay,
because I called you about this a month or so ago. So just so you'll, respectful. What she's saying is, remember I told you that the London Woods, the development had poles. And I went out there and I got you some of the numbers and we said they were not Pepco numbers. So because they have a long serial number.
Right.
It was like 2 or 3 letters and a number. And you explained to me the difference between ownership, which is what we have, because
Okay.
we own the poles, so to speak. And we are going through PSC for service.
Okay,
Now you take over.
That's
That's what she's asking you
Yeah,
about.
yeah, because well, we have the grant, we have to get a grant to pay for those poles, but I thought things have gone.
apparently, no, they're not Pepco, they weren't
They were
Pepco.
installed by Pepco.
Yeah, but they're not our poles.
I don't understand it either, but.
So, and, just, in general speaking terms, the town, can remove any poles that, any streetlights that, you know what, we don't want these, we don't want these here, we don't need these here, or it's too bright here, So you have that authority. You can tell us, hey, remove these poles, or excuse me, remove these lights, and then we can remove them, but no one asks us that.
Will you service those poles? Because their PSC, a private energy company.
Yes, we can't service poles.
Okay, that's what I asked of that. I can't go into that, so
Okay.
we're going somewhere else. But yeah, I will call you again, and
Okay.
maybe we can put you on an HOA meeting.
All right.
That might help the
Sure.
HOA and me understand better.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
I am.
Councilman Amanda?
Thank you for explaining everything so thoroughly. Just wanted to clarify the timeline expectations. What's your expectation for how long it would take to have the balance from the past 36 months attributed to our account
It would be with your next bill.
within the next bill?
Yeah, so let's say, if we get a meeting together, let's say Friday, and you come back and say, hey, we've looked at your numbers, we don't have any pushback, we agree that, the 350 is where we're at, then, we'll send you like a paper, basically to sign, Mayor. And, then we'll take that back to our billing department and say, hey, green light, go ahead and run the numbers for Town of Capitol Heights. We'll also be able to give you a preliminary amount, an estimated amount of what that credit will be.
Oh, great. And then that would same timeline for having the new adjusted bill, I'm assuming, because then we would have agreed upon those. Okay. All right, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Okay, thank you, Kim. I got 3 questions. Okay. This is affecting the lighting upgrade. Initial, interactions with Pepco, of which you were a part of, was that the town had 264 lights. That was Pepco's list. That was when our Public Works went out to do the survey, when the bus ride, everything, that was our list, 264. 380 is a big jump. So again, the council will all have to get together on this list because that's a big jump for us there. But my question to you is, because we have to be under contract with Pepco by the end of the year, I know we're not going ownership. The council would have to decide if we want to go with the kayak or non-kayak. So you
have time for that.
Contract
Yeah,
by the end of the year.
What do you mean
For the
contract?
upgrade, you have to be under contract, not install, not upgrade, but under contract.
Are you talking about for all of your streetlights? No, so there's no time limit for that yet. So right now,
No. We have to be under, because of the money, the restrictions from Department of Treasury, we have to be under contract to spend that money by the end of the year.
okay, I got you. So,
But you're talking about the tariff. So I got a little
Correct.
confused. We said, hold off, and we can't.
okay, and that's understandable. So, in that case, in your case, what I would recommend is start the process with Wiley. Okay. Yeah, start the process with Wiley, and then once the tariff, comes through, obviously it'll be a lower amount, and then you adjust accordingly. But if that process needs to start, there's no reason why you can't start it now, if you have that hard deadline.
Well, we already put in the request
Okay,
and everything else, because we were dealing with what, HPVs?
yes,
We had
Yes.
HPVs, and so we're,
HPS, high pressure sodium.
HPSC.
Yes,
I always forget that S. So, which is what we were gonna do here, and then you worked it with, Wiley and
Right.
said, let's do
LEDs.
LEDs.
Yes.
Okay. The reason I brought that up is because the lighting consultant, Pepco won't entertain, which is fair, entertain a conversation with us until we had to get we didn't have a choice. All the municipalities, we don't have a choice. You have to get a lighting consultant, so you know what lumens, if you need to put a shade on the light, you know all that, okay? We have a lighting consultant. My question to you is it advisable to give him your map to go from it? Because he's going to do a
Absolutely.
survey, so we
Absolutely.
can get to this contract with
Absolutely.
Pepco after 2 years. So
Yes.
anyway, I just thought I'd dig in there. So is that advisable to,
Absolutely.
is it user friendly? We can give it to,
100%.
does that make sense, Ms. Wren?
Yes.
We give it to him to work from, because I told him we have 264, this says 380. However, one last question. Maybe the 380 might be London Woods. Do you know where they went? Did they go into the, you don't know what?
Those were their polls and wouldn't be. Because he just said they weren't from the polls.
Right, so I guess part of the review process would be, like, we could look, you know, I don't know exactly where on the map, you know, the London Woods apartments are, but.
No, it's townhomes. And
The townhomes.
they have like 130 lights.
Okay.
So that's why it would add to the count. That's why it comes up to the count if I add those lights to this,
Sure, and maybe it's part of this list.
which is good if you did.
Right, yes. So maybe it's part of this list. So that's why, you know, we need to have this review session. So that one of the, like I said before, one of the big things that came of the Public Service Commission mandating Pepco to fix our streetlight issues is that we established this new outdoor lighting department. And so the meetings going forward, you know, I'm going to be kind of like a fly on the wall, and you'll be working with that outdoor lighting team. And so at that point, you'll be able to work with them and see, okay, you know, these particular streetlights, you know, they're privately owned, they're with an HOA, right? I wouldn't know what those are. I mean, I'll be there, you know, because you're my connection, right? So I kind of own this relationship, so I'm always going to be on there.
Don't forget.
I won't.
Okay, so, yeah, so is this meeting just for the mayor and council, or is this something you want the residents to be involved in?
It's
So-
just mayor.
Just mayor and
Yes.
council?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, thank you. Since anybody got anything out here to ask? Anybody here? Yes, ma'am.
So I would connect with you to organize this, or I'll connect with her to organize the review session.
Both of us, we're going to be CCing each other,
Perfect.
you know, for the next 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, because I just want to basically get this on it as soon as possible. And then I think that, you know, worst case scenario is manual, just go, you know, street to street to look to see.
A lot of municipalities do that, you know, they do the manual, you know, going street by street.
Yeah, 'cause
I wouldn't recommend it just because I know
We're still getting them.
time is money. You know, you can really use, you know, the interactive map,
Yeah.
you know, will show you by street, how many streetlights there are. I would spot test, you know, I'm just going to spot test this one, then that one, and that one. If you see that they're all right, you know, then I would, you know, in terms of, in your case, you really have a time crunch here.
Sorry, he has to look at the lights a different way, not just the count. You already know this. He has to know if those lumens are going in someone's house, that those lumens we need to increase on that particular corner. You already know that.
Yes.
So if we need a pole there, so that's what the consultant is gonna do, but I hope the
And
list
yes,
will help.
yeah, that list will definitely help. And that's going to be your list. And you can do whatever you like with that list.
Okay, I'll get that over to him too.
Sure.
Thank you. Anyone from, I know it, no, go ahead, I'm just joking.
Okay, my question is, when you stated that Petco owned lights, that's what that is about, or lights within the town of Capitol Heights?
So Pepco owns most streetlights, not necessarily all of them. But yes, so it depends, you know, and we own most of the streetlights. Typically, if it's on a wooden pole with a Pepco pole number on there, then we own it.
Okay, so this does not apply to lights that we do not own.
Correct. Yes, because the whole purpose of this exercise is to ensure that the town of Capitol Heights, their streetlight bill is being billed correctly, right? So private private streetlights are not part of their bill. So this is only to get their bills, corrected.
Okay. So if their bill did include the private streets, then the private streets would be included? Because I know some municipalities do pay their Petco bill for their HOAs. So if that was the case, then would that be a part of your,
That's up to the town. If the town wants to continue paying for those, so be it. If the town rejects and says, no, these streetlights don't belong to us, they belong to an HOA, then the HOA is going to be responsible for it, not the town.
I have one more question, I guess, to the mayor and council. So far as your infrastructure, you stated that you can use money for that. Now, say it doesn't work out for the HOA. Is there any way that the infrastructure money can be also given to the HOA as well for their lights, infrastructure, still a part of the town, in the town? I guess that's something you may have to ask somebody higher up. Can the money be used for that as well? Because you say it's for the town. The HOA,
Be able to for the lights. You're saying for some bizarre reason it couldn't be used. There's no reason why. it
not
can't
the
be
town lights, the HOA lights. Okay, well, I'm saying, if that's, but that's fine.
used. Sure.
Oh, yeah, if it can be used for that, of course, I will agree upon that. I'd be happy
Yeah,
that can happen. Okay.
that's not gonna be a problem.
Okay.
You'll be the first to know. If I let you know.
I just want to
No,
know
that's
if,
not being sarcastic.
No, I just want to know if it
I
can
know
be
you're
used.
interested. That's what I meant.
right, I want to know if it can be, I want to know if it can be used for that. That's what my question is. I don't want to try to do something that I'm not able to, not supposed to do.
Thank you. Just said my phone's going off. Sorry about that.
Okay.
No. Okay, I can understand. Anything else? Anybody else? Okay. Thank you so much. And the mayor and council will meet with you when TA Ren puts it on our calendar.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Next, we will go to farmers market ordinance. Yeah. Ms. Montgomery?
Good evening again, everyone. My name is Heather Montgomery. I'm about to introduce myself the first time. I would like to respond to Mr. Parsa's comments earlier, his wife's comments earlier about the farmer's market. Just a little bit of backstory, Mayor and Council. Previously, I provided you with a memo with my professional opinion as far as this business and what I felt like we should do based on the ordinance and other businesses that we have like it in the town. Well, I guess the bigger issue is we do not have any businesses like this in the town. Not only do we not have businesses like it, after doing a very thorough research and just looking through our business ordinance, we don't have anything to support the type of business either. How would we charge them? Will we charge them as a vendor? Will we charge them as a solicitor? A business license is typically given on a first year basis, a flat fee of $375. If we're going to charge them as a business license, we would have to have taxes to provide to show which bracket they would fall in. As a farmer's market, we don't have anything that is a criteria for that sort of business, nor do we have it for food trucks. So again, while the business type is not necessarily bad or undesirable, it is just not something that we have to substantiate what we already have written up right now for the town. As such, it would be very difficult to enforce. It would be very difficult to ensure that they have all the criteria met with the county. And I think right now it would just be a little bit cumbersome of a process to try to do before we sit down and do a thorough revision to our ordinances to reflect the changes that are happening to the business industry. Another issue is DPI was very hesitant. I'm not sure if this has transpired in the gap of time of communication with us, but DPI was very hesitant to give a permanent use and occupancy for a farmer's market. I reached out to many DPI inspectors. We also had a meeting with Mr. Parsa at the location, and DPI did advise that it was very unlikely that they were going to get it. Again, I'm not sure if updates on that end have happened, but the last time I spoke with someone from DPI, they were yielding to the town to decide what we would like to do, and they would proceed based on that. as far as giving any permits. I've also reached out to 7 of the surrounding municipalities, and none of them have permanent farmers market businesses such as this one that Mr. Parsa is trying to start. Again, that doesn't necessarily make it that we can't have it. It just would make more sense for us to sit down and maybe take a look at where we can add that for an opportunity for other businesses like it in the future. But again, it would be my professional opinion, if asked, which you're asking, that we decline this application for the time being and revisit after we've done our due diligence to our ordinances first. And that's all I have.
Okay. I'm gonna open to the council. I've been told you're from Ivy. You're not on the agenda, but you want to say something? Oh, I'm sorry. Then I didn't know that. I thought you were looking dapper, but I didn't know. So we will respectfully honor you, you know, even though you're not on the agenda. All right, let's go down. Councilwoman Amanda.
Can I also have a minute, if it's possible?
No, please.
I guess I need a couple gaps of information filled in so I can understand exactly what's at hand.
Yes, ma'am.
What are the ramifications on what do they feel are the ramifications for waiting for us to fix our ordinance or work through our ordinance? What negativity does that cause on them?
I'm so sorry, Councilwoman, could you say that last part again?
Why is waiting for us to work out our ordinance a concern for them? I'm just trying to understand. That's the purpose.
Well, the first thing is where the property is situated, it is on the major thoroughfare. If we're having a farmer's market there, they're gonna have tables and such set up. We would obviously now attract a high volume of traffic, hopefully if it's successful. It could be it could be in the way, for lack of better words, for if police vehicles and otherwise are coming through and in and out. And also, to also not mention, there is not adequate parking. Nova Avenue is technically only parking on the right-hand side. And I'm just worried about the logistics as far as that's concerned, and just a bunch of different little smaller aspects like that. Also, to get an event permit, you would need to get an event permit for each time he's having the farmer's market. And that is supposed to be done 45 days out for any event that's done through DI. They would have to be able to provide us a schedule or a list of all of their business or all of the dates that they have this farmer market. And again, we don't have the criteria in our own ordinance to support something that would enforce that.
Right, I understand what you're saying. My question is, waiting for us to figure that out, what is the urgency to do it now? On their end. Maybe I need to ask them.
Oh,
but
no.
I'm trying to understand why the urgency versus waiting for us to figure out ordinance size.
Well, I guess the simple answer would be that they purchased this property and now they're paying a mortgage or a rent on a piece of land that they're not able to use. And they went in with the expectation that they would rent it out to a different tenant, originally another gentleman. And after he realized there were a lot of, for lack of better words, hoops and loops that he would need to jump through, a lot of legalities and permitting issues, he ended up backing out from that contract and the lease was broken. Then that's when a lot of these issues with the owner came up. We had to get DPI involved. DPI would have been involved anyways.
I understand. Thank you. I do.
No, I'm just in agreement with this, that's right, because, if we don't have anything in place, that leaves us up for any type of legal actions or whatever. I think we need to have our ducks in order before we start giving out some type of permit or, you know, like I said, permits for this type of business. Before we can even do anything, we need to really understand what is being actually established and how it's being established. And if we don't have it in place right now, I'm in agreement with Ms. Desiree. It's for right now, it's a no. And I yield.
Okay, Councilman Williams?
Thanks, that's what I'm in agreement, that's what also, until it gets kind of conceptual design, to show us something we can actually see it as we're situated. I think you need to wait, also check out ordinance. Make sure that we're in compliance, and allow something like that to feasible in the town. I yield, thank you.
Yes, sir. Councilwoman Anita?
Okay, I'm in agreement with Ms. Montgomery with regards to that, but I have a couple of questions. Is it possible, because when you told me it's on the side in that parking lot of that new store in the town? That was African I'm playing here. Is it possible that you can do a trial run? Because a farmer's market doesn't go all year round. One. Two, across on the DC side, right outside of the town, there is now a farmer's market there. I don't know if anybody is aware of that, the new farmer's market. Also, we have a farmer's market already here in the town. It's run by one of the council. So, I mean, they don't sell it, they plant vegetables or whatever, isn't it called a market? A garden, I'm sorry, we have a garden, farmer's garden. I do. Okay.
For point of clarity, where's the site located?
It is 6005 Old Central Avenue. So the new market that you guys approved, I believe this year, it is adjacent or disconnected to that property, separated by a fence. When the property went up for sale after the old owner passed, it was purchased separately. The property, the building and the fence was purchased separately. And if I might, am I able to respond to Councilwoman Anita?
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. Councilwoman Anita, I understand that you mentioned the garden, and the only thing different is this is something that's sanctioned by the town, and he's not selling the items, Councilman James. And this gentleman would be having other people come that are vendors, will probably be different vendors every time. You also mentioned a farmer's market is not current, or is not, does not run all year round. But what this owner is trying to do is get a permanent use and occupancy to run that farmer's market year round. And again, there's nowhere that has happened. Not saying we can't pioneer a process, but again, we should probably look at our own revisions where we can make them. And again, even DPI was extremely hesitant because they have to do an inspection to come and give a permit. But you can't expect what doesn't exist. There's no structures or anything like that for them to inspect.
Right.
So to give 45 days in advance for that inspection process, there would be nothing but the gravel or the pavement and the fence. And like, what the two of that? Also, I'm looking at how it's gonna look. If they're open 5 days, 7 days, how it's going to look. With the town look, and especially on our main streets. I
yield for an answer.
No, it was just a statement I had to make there, but I want to know that I'm in agreement with what Ms. Montgomery has proposed.
Thank you.
Well, actually, I'm navigating both.
Oh, she took a.
Yeah, she took a question from me because I was trying to get the location so that I can properly address. Okay, so another point of clarity, it's right here, Old Central and Nova.
Yes, sir.
That this thing that I thought that belonged to the store, but it's a separate parcel. Okay, now you know we already have issues right there, just ordinarily, with just trying to get into Nova. That it narrows right there. So to propose a farmer's market, I'll follow your lead. I'll follow your advisement.
Well, I think the council said a lot, but I will say this. Nova and Old Central is a very high traffic area, particularly during rush hour. And because of the way the street is designed, Nova particularly, I am not in favor of having that kind of a market there because I think it'd be a hazard to the citizens, the pedestrians who transit that space. I have not been discussing this issue at all, so this is new to me, but Nova's the last place I think the farmers market should be off the Central Avenue. I think it should be relocated if they can find another spot to do it, but Nova Avenue is not really, and Old Central is not a really good spot for that activity.
Nielsen?
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, anything else?
Councilman Amanda,
Yes, ma'am.
one more quick question. So if that fenced in area was purchased, you said after the owner passed away, they were bought separately. What was the purpose of buying a piece of gravel with a fence on it?
I mean this very respectfully, but I think that would be I think a lot of people purchase land and think they're gonna start a business without really researching the requirements for the place that they're in. As being a municipality, we have our own set of rules, as you guys know, that differ from if you were to purchase in an unincorporated place. So I don't think that the owner, as well versed as he is, I don't think the owner really understood, and that it's pretty apparent between, based on the emails back and forth between he, the mayor, and I, that he understood all of the requirements that would be necessary for this. And, it's also impossible for him to have understood all the requirements because we don't even have criteria that would have set requirements. I don't think he understood that this was going to be an extra stipulation in addition to purchasing it, simply getting the permit, the UNO from DeFi and opening up this farmer's market. Which again, there's an area here, there's an opportunity here for us as a town and DeFi to communicate better when they're giving out licensure to commercial properties here within the town. It would be nice if they could communicate with us. So we're not finding out after the fact that someone's trying to open up a business that we may or may not see as desirable within the town. We can get ahead of it a little bit faster.
Yeah, I think there's just a fine line, that balance of having to, if you straddle people from coming in and doing things in our town to provide entertainment or to provide new opportunities, that makes it difficult for people to make changes. At the same time, being able to make the right changes in the right way. So there is no solution I have to offer in this very moment, but I think peeling back the layers and peeling the onion, helping people who are purchasing land in town understand what they can do, what they can't do. So we need to work on that as a council to better communicate that and find more solutions so that we don't continuously come up against this where we're not able to include things into the town because there's misunderstandings and just not guidance. Right? Those are my 2 cents. I yield.
Okay. I'll put mine in real quick.
I would also like.
Please, Jane, can you? You have to be recognized by the chair. Respectfully, that's my word. You cannot just interrupt and just start talking. Thank you. And the reason that I'm so abrupt with some of this is because I do not want this meeting disrupted. I do not want this meeting disrupted. I'm openly saying that. And today the town was threatened in a call that I was privy to. And I do not want this type of dialogue at this meeting. So, as I was saying to you, you are free to listen in and everything else. And then possibly when things have calmed down, we can converse about this. But when you threaten and say the town is full of convenience stores and you say negative things about the town, and you're going to take us to court and all these things, I just don't want that in a meeting. You're open to say whatever you want, but it's disruptive to a council meeting. So, and please don't interrupt again. I say that with respect. So, I just wanted to say that I heard what everyone said. I am for not totally dismissing the request, but after you've done some more research on the ordinance. Time-wise, the town, I'm not blaming anyone, the town should be up to date on all their ordinances. I mean, we should be. If we have land for people to use or to come in and buy things, we should have the ordinance in place to govern those properties. And like you said, I know we never had a request before, but we should have something just in case, because, you know, those type of things happen. So I think Mayor Pro Tem True was one of the initiators was saying our ordinance are older. It might have been Anita or Amanda. I don't know. All the council has said at one time or another, we need to update our ordinances. We need to find them first and we need to update them. So I'm not blaming anyone, but that's a given. So the residents already know that. So, but beyond that, I think we need to further investigate, see what can be done to help folks when they come with those type of requests, because we're not able to help them if we don't, like you said, if we don't even know procedures that govern our own municipality.
Okay.
So I would say we do some research, put it in writing, and go from there. And if we do decide, have the appropriate type meeting with these individuals. But first, let's get something in writing that will support whatever we're trying to do. You did a good job on that, by the way. Okay, are we good, council? Can we move on? Yes. Okay, sir,
Yes, ma'am.
I did not know, again, because you weren't on our agenda, so you'd like to talk to us for like a few minutes?
Yes,
I'm sorry you had to wait, but normally we go on the agenda.
waiting was not a problem.
You want to wait longer? Okay, no, we got more to do. No, that was a joke, okay?
I will be brief so that I don't take too much of your
Okay,
time.
sir. You want to come up here? You good there?
There you go.
What do you
I'm
want
gonna
to
give you
do?
the money. Here you go, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mayor Monroe, the council members, Ms. Wren, Chief Morgan, and residents of Capitol Heights. My name is Joseph Pruden. I'm here on behalf of Congressman Ivey. I am his Veterans and Military Affairs Liaison, and I'm also a field rep. The Congressman is asking us to go to local municipalities and take some of what he's been doing this summer in his office and bringing you up to date. He is proud to announce that he's brought grant funding for gun violence prevention, put it all in one word, electric buses and safer streets. And he's continued to work with federal agencies to bring more money back to Maryland District 4. The congressman is extremely constituent oriented, and wherever he can bring grant money to local municipalities or organizations, that's what he does. Tonight, I want to bring up two programs that he particularly wants you to be aware of. The first one is called an app challenge. This is for high school students who are in STEM programs or not in STEM programs, but are interested in that type of activity. The way this works is the high school student will write an app, submit it to the congressman's office, to each congressman. This is a national competition. There will be a local judging of the app, and the winners from each local jurisdiction will go to a national competition. At each step of the way, there's scholarship and money and recognition available. This could lead to very lucrative careers for young people. Here's the reason that we want to make sure you're aware of this, and I will leave some flyers with the town administrator. And our flyers, like everybody else's these days, have QR codes on them, but we've checked them and they do work. So, at any rate, we know that we have students in Prince George's County who do this type of thing. They do it at home for fun, but they don't realize there's an outlet for it. They don't realize that there's a benefit to them for producing this. They're doing it for fun. So we want them to be aware that they can submit their work for competition, and they may get scholarships. They may just get a check or a grant. They may just get recognition. But if they aren't aware of the program, nothing happens. They're just playing in their basement and getting better at the skills, but
they're stagnant. So I have a flyer here for that. Please pass it on, copy it, send it any way you want, use the QR code, but let's let our high school students know there's this program available to them. The second one is the military service academies. Let me go back a minute. The deadline for the app challenge is October 24th. So there's not a lot of time, but these kids will do it in an hour or two. But back to the military service academies. It's that season of the year where congressmen and senators and the vice president and the superintendents of all the schools are screening candidates to go to the military academies. Each congressman can nominate people, 10 to 15 people per academy. And that's just one of the steps. But the important part of that is that, again, it's a matter of information. If our students aren't aware of it, they can't apply for it. What I like to tell parents and some of these seniors is, these schools are highly ranked schools nationally and internationally. When you finish 4 years at these schools, you come out with a Bachelor of Science degree, usually in engineering, but they have many, many, many more disciplines also. And once you finish that basic education, you can go on to medicine, veterinary, you can go on to almost any field you can think of. Here's an important part. This is a $500,000 education. That's like a $500,000 scholarship. You're not going to get that anyplace else, not very easily. It is competitive. It's not easy to get, but for those who want this or those who are aware of it and make the application and follow through, when they finish that school, they are a leader. They're in uniform. Now, of course, they have to pay it back with 5 years of service. But then the other side of that is there's no loan to pay off. They're done. And they have a guaranteed job. So the 5 academies are the U.S. Military Academy, which is the Army. We all know about the Naval Academy in Annapolis. There's the Air Force Academy in Colorado. And then we have the Merchant Marine Academy and the Coast Guard Academy. The Coast Guard Academy is the only one of those where you don't need a nomination. You apply directly to the academy. They have their own process of getting in. I want to repeat, the process is not real simple, but we'll help you. It's competitive. You have to go through an interview. But for those who succeed, our personal opinion is they're set for life. In both of these programs, if you don't have a flyer, you don't know where the QR code is, go to the congressman's website. There's a link to get in there. You fill out an application for the academy, and then we will reach out to you. That part is simple. Then you have to tackle the academies. The third thing that the congressman asked us to mention is, and I have to read it to make sure I get it correctly, the Community Project Funding Grant Program. This is a fairly new program where congressmen can go directly to the Appropriations Committee and ask for grants for almost anything. Almost anything. If you have a need of a grant or if money will solve the problem that you have, go ahead and apply for the grant. We have to wait for the Appropriations Committee to give us the guidelines, which will probably be February or March. But these are quick turnaround. You apply for it. It gets to appropriations. It's either approved or not approved, and then you get the money. The guidelines are not set yet, so I can't tell you what they'll be. But if you think money is an issue, start planning now. Get ready. So the only other thing that I'm going to add is we were talking earlier, somebody saw my pin. This is Suicide Awareness Month. I'm not going to proselytize. I will ask you to check in on your friends and neighbors who are veterans. Check in on your friends and neighbors who are not veterans. But most of us know someone who has succumbed to this problem. It can be very painful for families and friends. So make the phone call, check, see how people are doing. Let's get through this month with fewer suicides. Thank you very much, Mayor, for giving me time to speak to your meeting tonight.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Can you identify who you are? Because we didn't ask you things.
I certainly can, and I apologize. I thought I did that in the beginning. Usually that's pretty easy. My name is,
And I missed it.
no, I probably didn't. My name is Joseph Pruden. It's spelled Pruden. I am the Veterans and Military Affairs Liaison for Congressman Ivey. I'm also a field rep for Congressman Ivey, so I attend a lot of meetings like this.
Just want to hear it again.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Any questions? Are you entertaining questions? Anybody have questions?
He's gonna leave the information for the next school.
Anybody have any questions?
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you again, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're gonna get to 10.
Absolutely.
Okay,
It's gonna be calling or something.
thank you. Thank you. Good night. Okay, Red, you want to do the resolution, please?
Yes.
The event.
Yes, hold on.
All right.
This is regarding to. This is regarding to Town of Capitol Heights Resolution 2024-13. It's introduced by the town council. If with mayor's permission, I'd like to read the resolution, which is also posted on the website.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
So then the people who are on Zoom can follow along. Resolution for a town-sponsored event for the community. Whereas the town of Capitol Heights is in support of town-sponsored events for the community. Whereas the town of Capitol Heights support the involvement of the town residents in such efforts. Whereas it is customary for mayor and council independently or as a group or committee to host special town-sponsored events. Whereas the town budget allows for yearly town-sponsored events. Whereas any town of Capitol Heights sponsored event where the town's involvement is limited to lending of the town's name or financial and in-kind support, such event must first be discussed with mayor and full council and must be approved by the majority vote. Whereas all events sanctioned by the mayor and council must be presented to the full council for approval no later than 30 days before the event date. This presentation shall include all necessary details regarding the event's purpose, logistics, cost, utilization of town staff, and anticipated community impact. Whereas save the date notice for the promotion of all sanctioned events shall commence no later than 14 days prior to the event. Initial promotion of the event shall include a save the date notice that is clearly communicated through flyers, social media, and other appropriate community communication channels. Whereas finalized event flyers with all relevant event details must be circulated and displayed within the committee no later than 7 days before the event date. Whereas if any assistance is required of town staff, all tasks related directive will be approved by the majority council vote and provided to the town administrator by the mayor. Be it finally resolved that this resolution shall take effect upon adoption. Passed by blank date, September 2024, the town of Capitol Heights by mayor and council.
Thank you. The floor is open. Start, Councilman Jennings.
This, I don't have any option. This is.
Yes, sir. Councilman Williams. All right. Councilwoman Anita.
I'm in support of this resolution here.
Representative.
No comments, I'm in support of it.
Councilwoman Amanda.
Yeah, I'm supportive of it. Thank you.
Okay, well, this is the first read, but it's been approved.
Do I take a
I'll
vote?
take a official vote.
Okay, so approval of the resolution 2024-13. Should I go with on the left?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Councilor,
Amanda.
I'm sorry.
We need a motion.
Yeah.
My brain, thank you for that correction. And somebody put a portion on it. I move that. Wait. Okay, go ahead, Councilman Anita. Okay.
I so move that resolution 2024-13. Can we move on this resolution to resolution
for town-sponsored events for the community.
Second.
Comments? Did you get it, TA?
Yeah.
Okay. Any comments? Okay, can you please call us?
Yeah, Councilmember Amanda Anderson,
Yes.
Councilmember Anita Anderson,
Yeah.
Mayor Pro Tem Chu,
Yes.
that's one first not here, Councilmember James,
Yes.
and then Councilmember Mr. Williams.
Yes.
Okay, so we have five ayes, no nays, approved.
Yes, ma'am. You know what the date is, and then you can put it as a first read and adopt it on the same day.
Yeah.
Okay,
The floor open for comment.
Jay, you can't do anything with that?
No,
Oh, it just pops on its own?
I'm muting them, but they can unmute themselves.
Oh. Okay, because I've been on meetings where you can't.
Right.
Mute yourself. Okay, so now we're going to have ARPA funds allocation. Mayor Pro Tem Chu, you said you had some questions and I'll do my
Yeah.
best to answer.
Yeah, so I just want to make sure, because I know there's a lot going on, and I just want to make sure that we have allocated enough money for the modules to be completed. Because I know that
Okay.
So then
Okay.
reflect.
Okay, and actually, that is more in tune of what I had wrote down when I put it into the portal. Okay, the reason I'm saying that is for those in attendance, the Treasury rules require that you have to, even before you actually spend the money, you have to tell them what you're going to do with the money. There was a timeline on that, which was last year sometime, and we had to do a resolution on how we were going to split the money. Now, the requirements are another report on that money, and it has to be under contract. It has to be under contract. So the money has not changed. And so the allocation for the safety complex is over $1 million. So that should be more than enough to, what is it, 1.4? That's, I sent y'all the resolution on that. Now, if the council wants to change the breakdown of the money, I will send something out in an email, and the council can tell me if they want to have a special meeting to do an amendment to that, what I already put in the portal. If we need to make a change on that money allocation, let me know. Because I don't remember, no, I didn't recall putting anything in there for Green Street, Chambers Avenue, because we have already got $500,000 that we have not spent since 2019. So I didn't want to put more money in the project. However, during the meetings, it was said that they need $500,000 to complete it. And they were saying that we need to pull it from the ARP funds. Project has been going on for a long time, and we can try to get grant funding for that. We have a little bit more time on that. these other projects, in order to get the money, which we already have, and to use it, I'm getting redundant. We have to be under contract in the next 2 or 3 months. There's no question. Any more questions? So we can revisit it. If y'all want to do a special meeting on the breakdown. Okay? All right. So the next one is town hall meeting. Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay, I just wanted to again reiterate, because I've gotten several emails, I have been blasted for coming out with this town hall meeting. The town hall meeting is not a mayor and council event. The town hall meeting was brought up by Reverend Duggar when we was at National Night Out. And so I moved on it. And by me moving on it, it was told that it was a council and mayor event. It was never a council and mayor event. And then I got an email telling me that I could not use town money for this event and all kinds of things. And I just want to make sure people understand, churches do this all the time. I have an ordained friend of mine whose cousin just was ordained at First Baptist Church of Glenarden. I talked to her over the weekend. They do it all the time. They have community meetings. They meet with the residents. They meet with the residents about concerns. If the council come, they come. If they don't come. They just had several meetings in DC in reference to Trayvon, who is the council person that's going through whatever he's going through. The churches are meeting. It's nothing wrong with a church meeting in reference to the concerns of the town or wherever the church is located. I got kind of offended because Reverend Duggar is a pillar of our community. He has been in this community for over 25 years. Not only is he a pillar of this community, it really threw me for a loop when they said we could not use town funds for this event. When this pastor gives up his yard in his church, no questions asked, no money's asked, no matter what. And when I spoke to him this Saturday, he was opening up his basement for the town of Capitol Heights Toastmasters to meet. So to me, I thought that that was really a bad thing for us to sit back and say, because of protocol, we could not help with this event. Now, this event again is not a mayor and council event. It is not. It's an event that this pastor wants to do for this community. Now, he would like for the council to come, but if you can't come, it's okay. But it's not a mandatory event that you must attend. And this is something that churches in the communities do all the time. And I just wanted to reiterate that because it was thrown at me that I was out of protocol and mayor council rules and all of these things to me, and I can't use, we use less than $125 to do the flyers and the banner. Less than $125. We use the church's yard every time we have an event. We just use it night out. We going to use it for the Spanish. We use it for the Easter egg hunt. We use his yard and his facilities all the time. And so I just thought that the communication was not there. And I'm putting it out for the 5th time that this is not a mayor and council event. There is no protocol that was not followed, or maybe because I donated $125. If that's the protocol you're speaking of, okay, I agree. But this is for a very good event. And I yield.
Floor is open.
That's the woman in need.
Okay.
All due respect, Pastor Duggar, my friend, welcome tonight. Councilwoman Sheila, as I have stated to you before, this is a noteworthy initiative. You have stated that it is not a mayor council event. However, it could have been conveyed or presented to the council in a better manner than what it was, to prevent and to alleviate any miscommunication or misunderstanding.
I do have a question for TA Grant. Were you aware this was not a mayor and council event, or were you under the impression this was a mayor and council event?
I assume this was a town event, whereby, Pastor Duggar was, involved. I was just basically informed that there was gonna be like a, sort of like an event that was going on at his church, on that day. I didn't know the details of it, like as in intricate details. I just knew that Pastor Duggar was gonna be involved. It was gonna be at his church. And then that, Mayor Pro Tem and Councilman William were aware of it. So I just really didn't, I'm sorry, there were so many things going on. I wasn't sure, like.
Thank you, Tia. Also, and Councilwoman Chu, as I have stated to you before, this is not meant to cause any blow up or any miscommunication or any type of problems between the council. It's just the manner in which things were conducted and how they were handled. As I had stated before, and as you stated, first of all, as you stated, yes, churches do hold events in their church to bring in the residents in that community to inform them. But as I did state too, calling it a town hall event or town hall meeting, town hall meetings are held within the confinements of a town hall or municipal building, first of all. Second of all, it is, this event, this event could have been done, like I said earlier, could have been done done better. Pastor Duggar is a big integral in this community. And his church does open their doors on numerous occasions. I respect this man because of his integrity. I respect him even more of his professionalism and how he conducts himself and conducts business over there. I don't think that he will be a part of any miscommunication or confusion that this has created for putting this event on. Not to say that it is not a noteworthy event. It is, and it should go over well. And I hope it does, but it's just the manner in which it was presented and not presented to the council. Although we were on break, we come in the town hall and we see flyers. No one mentioned anything. No communication to our council, no respect to us. So we can work together cohesively. We should have been able to do that. To alleviate a lot of the problems that have, well, I won't even call them problems. This, the lack of communication and I don't want it to be seen as if, as I said, we strive to operate as a cohesive and professional council, and it appears our protocols response and events were not properly followed, which may have led to this confusion. Although you have stated that this is not a mayor and council event, but you all have invited or have extended an invite for us to sit on the council. We don't even know what we're sitting on a council to do. What are the topics that are going to be discussed? How can we answer or respond to something adequately if we don't even know what's being presented? Also, if there is issues that are concerning residents, we have scheduled meetings. These concerns could have been brought here and then taken back out before the community. Why weren't that? I'm being very, very professional about this and asking. So that was my concern. Why wasn't this done? Why, what concerns are different than what we talk about? We give the residents or people, anyone that comes in here, opportunity to speak about anything that they have a concern about. Pastor Doug, I have nothing against having it in your town, your church. I don't have any problem with that. God bless you. I wish you the best with it. I don't want you to think that I have a problem with it, because that is not the concern. My concern is how it was presented or not presented in the manner in which it should have. Out of respect for us as a council, so we can continue to work together on one accord. Councilman Chin, I yield.
Councilman Williams.
Lord,
Councilman.
I go around.
Yeah, let me read this. What is the name of a town hall in a church? A town hall in a church is a meeting where people can gather to discuss important issues and share concerns with church folk. Town halls are a way for church leaders to share their vision and for the people of the community to ask questions and share their concerns. Here are some characteristics of a town hall meeting: open to the public. Town halls are open to everyone and are a way for people to let their government know about issues that matter to them. Town halls are usually more open to discussions and don't have a strict agenda. The venue, here's the thing, the venue. Town halls can be held in many different venues, including churches, schools, libraries, and municipal buildings. I read the email and I think, and I know you quoted miscommunication. Maybe there was a little miscommunication, but a town hall is generic from reading this. It can be held anywhere. I give the floor.
Okay, Councilman James.
No, he just, I was about to say the same thing. Town halls does not confined to a municipal center. It can be held in the park. So, you know,
Councilman
it's
Mills.
just a gathering.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought I heard you yield.
No, I didn't yield.
Go ahead.
I yield.
I thought you heard your
I
voice
yield.
from there.
I yield now.
Councilwoman Manning.
Yeah, thanks. Really my only issues are just communication and communicating what's going on in the town. I think, if you're sending out flyers and putting a logo on it and it's coming from, our workers are passing out the flyers and we're printing it. It's proper to give communication about what's happening and to, just take some email to let people know. And that's really my only issue. Thank you.
Councilwoman okay. Now, I sent out an email. The email was 4 paragraphs deep, explaining everything. That's how I got the rebuttal. And on many occasions, I said, this is not a town event. And you keep throwing protocol. We should have known. Protocol, we should have known. This is not our event. This is Reverend Douglas' event. And I keep stating, so many pastors and churches have meetings like this all the time. This is not an event that he has to come through the town council or mayor to get approval to have a community event or a town hall at his church. No, they do it all the time. And then I was thrown, we can't use money. We use money at the food giveaway. We buy bags, we buy all of these things, and I guarantee you, we don't even get 50 or 60% of our residents here in this town at the at the food giveaway. But I don't say anything. But the moment we have a communication event that we probably never had one like this before in this town, it's a problem. No, it's not a problem. I sent communication out. I sent emails out. That's how I got the rebuttal. This, again, is not a town event. This is an event held by our prominent pastor in this town. And it's nothing wrong with it. It's nothing wrong with it. Churches do it all the time. He does not have to come to us to say, can I have approval to have a meeting in my church? No, he should not have to come to us. If he feels at any given point that he wants to have a meeting and have our residents come to the meeting, then it's fine. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But for you guys to sit here and throw in my face, that there was no communication, which there was communication. There was a lack of protocol, no protocol should have been given. It's wrong. It's really wrong. And I'm gonna defend it to the end because the way this is being handled against me, it's really wrong. It's really wrong. There is no excuse for what is going on. The pastor asked for a meeting. We are constituents in this town. We put it together. I put it together. Nobody else want to come. I put it together to make it happen for this pastor. This pastor gives us everything. He allows us to do us everything. He don't charge us for nothing. You want to use it? Sure, no problem. Get up on a Saturday to open his doors so that we can use the basement of his church. And you're going to sit here and tell me that I'm wrong, no protocol, no communication. I sent email out. There was no protocols to be followed. I sent email out. That's how I got the rebuttals. No, I'm always for this town. This town and this residents. I've been like this before I got on this council. I'm gonna continue to be like this whether I'm on this council or not. And he came to us. He came to me. I made it happen.
Came to us.
He came to us. I'm sorry. He came to us and we made it happen. And there's nothing wrong with it. I see nothing wrong with it. And I yield.
Okay, I'm gonna go for a second round, then I'll make my comment. You said you had something. Okay. Is there anybody else?
No, I'm Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Councilman, yeah.
Uh-huh.
He came to us, and I'm 100% in agreement with Mayor Pro Tem. Listen, our church, we're over in DC. We don't go to the mayor and council to get permission from the District of Columbia Government Council, get permission to hold a town hall meeting. We disseminate the flyers in the community. Residents get it. We notify the council members. We invite them. Irregardless if they come or not, we still hold our town hall. But we, the church and the pastor, put the town hall together.
Okay. I've heard both sides. I don't know. I'll say both sides. The way I'm looking at it is when you say town hall meeting, church and politics, you know, that old saying there should be a separation. The town is involved in it simply because it was done through the town, not the church. I'm not taking sides, but it was done through the town. That is what I'm hearing seems to be the problem. If it was done through the town, through the church, saying the church is going to have a town hall meeting, I understand 100% what you're saying. But it was done as the town is having a town hall meeting, but it's being held at the church. Semantics, but that is a difference. I'm saying that to everyone. Everyone can take the floor after that, but there is a difference. So I'm in full support of this. I'm in full support with it. And to me, it's a matter of semantics. That's what it breaks down to. Semantics.
Right.
Yeah, let me, I got the floor.
Go ahead.
Ooh. It's semantics. So a better word, if I may say, would have been a community meeting at the church to discuss whatever. That, like 100%. But by it being done by a council person, town administrator, and labeled a town hall meeting, that's semantics. That is where it went awry. Reverend Duggar, by you calling me, it was no secret. You were letting everybody know. Wasn't like you trying to keep a secret, but I didn't know. As the mayor, I didn't know. So that's unusual because Mayor Pro Tem always tells us. So I'm just saying, but I didn't know this. And she may have said it, I'm not gonna lie, and I just missed it. Truthfully, I might have missed it because people said there were flyers out here, so I might have missed it. But my logic is to stop this or whatever, to preclude this from happening again, not because of your church, anywhere If it's the town, it should be advertised as something the town is doing. If it's a community town hall meeting, it should be advertised from that end. And then you're right, then it's not mayor and council. You're 100% right on that. It's not mayor and council. But if it's the town hall meeting, flyers, everything put out from the town, it appears as though it's a town hall meeting. And that is the confusion. And I keep saying it's semantics. So would you like to speak? I know it's out of order, but you're here. Would you like to speak, sir?
Yeah, first of all, let me say, good evening to you, Mayor, and council, all of you, protocol has been established. Let me just say this first of all, I have someone taking care of my mother. My mother has Alzheimer's, and so they agreed so I can come to this meeting. Just maybe because of my naivete, that I was not aware of your protocols, okay? Now, what I did not set out to do is to create ambiguity. I want to have a meeting on the national night out. I spoke to the chief, I spoke to some of the council members. This is not the first time we've had this meeting. I have notes in here from November 21, when I have pictures when you guys were over there. Some of you were not on the council at that time. In my church, we had this same meeting, and I didn't have to go through all of this. It's okay, but I want to know protocol. That's why I called the mayor. I'm not a messy kind of person. Matter of fact, my church was on the verge of cutting all of this off because we go through too much. We're not, and I understand you're dealing with people and human beings. You get all kinds of dynamisms. I get that, but again, because of the work I do it has to do with traits of love and kindness. Exactly. And so I understand. But the bigger picture for me is us working together. And if we have to iron out all these nuances, that's fine with me. Because I want to see us at the end become one, not divided. Let me just share something with you. I had a conversation on the night, the national night, I'll just kind of frame this for you, with some of the personnel council. And I just, as by way of suggestion, I said, I would love for us to have a conversation, a discussion about the town. And so I talked to a couple of the other colleagues, they would, and so they said, fine. And we got excited about it. Then the next time, nothing else transpired between them. I got a call about 3 weeks ago, correct me if I'm wrong. Councilman James called me saying that Councilman Williams wanted to speak to me. I said, okay. And then when he said, well, I'm on speakerphone. And so he, chief, and Councilman James on. So we talked but now you correct me if I'm wrong. I did not finalize any dates. I didn't give any time because I don't do that. I have a protocol in my church. I don't answer any dates. I don't give out dates, times, or anything. I have an events coordinator. I have an administrator. All I do is preach and teach the gospel. When it comes to renting properties, all that kind of stuff, they do that because that's not my lane. Because we have a protocol for people. My media staff has to be in place. My security has to be in place. My ushers have to be in place. Whatever has to be in place, they have a checklist. They have to go through all of that. I don't do that. I will give you Jaden called me stopped me on the street the other day, said, Pastor, can we use the lot for the Latino thing? I said, let me give you Miss Nikki Richardson's phone number. I said, that's the person you contact. I said, yeah, but you gotta call her because they know the calendar. I don't know the calendar like that. But whatever's on that calendar, they will tell you. And they will tell you, okay, these people are available to do this, that. If not, then they'll say, we can't do it. So I don't know how they got the date September 27th. I don't. But Councilman Chu walked up to me and said to me a couple of days ago, I said, look, are you excited about the 27th? I said, exactly on 27th. That's good. And she said, I said, no, what's happening? My birthday is September 15th. That's a national holiday, that passed. And I'm still gonna break the monotony because I've enjoyed this meeting tonight. And I don't want this to throw a wrench into who we are as a people, okay? As a town guy. And so I said, no, she says, well, we already got the date. We having the thing, the town hall meeting here at the church. That's the first time I heard invitation, all of that. Because again, I didn't have that. No one gave me that. And then it was like this, they said that's what the day. And so I don't want to get into all of that because I don't want to throw nobody under the bus. I think that part it's immaterial right now. I think what's important is I rushed to put together a letter. Something just to say, because I wanted to invite mayor, council, and then I want to send you guys an agenda. Because to one of y'all's point, you said, well, what do, Councilman Anita, what do we talk about? I would not dare have you out here and not know what to talk about.
Yeah.
I framed the conversation. I started putting some things in the conversation that we need to address. First of all, I want you, the people to meet the mayor and the council. I wanted to meet the chief of police. I wanted to meet the TA. I wanted to meet the staff. Many complaints that people will come to me when they won't come here. And they'll say, Pat, I'm always on the street. You'll see me 7 o'clock in the morning. So I'm talking to people and I'll say, you know, the TA, and they say, what's up? What is a TA? I think I'm talking about a bomb or something. I'm not, I'm about the TA, the town administrator, because what lingo to you may not be to them.
That's what I'm saying.
And so the conversation for me is that to hear what people have to say and just wanted to talk about them. And so I put some things together. Let me just get this right quick and I'll be able to get here, okay? My memory is not what it used to be.
I did, go back.
Please be nice. Here we are. So I have a welcome, just trying to give you an idea. I give some in-house information. Then I would introduce the mayor, council, chief of police, public works. I was gonna send you a letter asking you, is it okay? Because again, I don't have these answers. This is a relationship between the town and the persons that they serve, those that are being served. And so, and the purpose of the discussion is for us to evaluate the pulse, needs, and concerns of the residents through a listening session. In addition, to build relationship,
That's right.
understanding, clarity, trust. A lot of folks don't trust us in this town. And to form a concerted union among those who are served, who serve and are served. Some are serving, you are serving. And there are people that are recipients of your servitude.
Exactly.
Chief, no, what do they call it? Shade of teeth. I don't know the names of the officers. I've been here 25 years. And I've always known the name of the officers. I tried that, and I told you I was gonna do it over the summer. I was trying to put together barbecue Bibles and something else for the officers to get to know them. Because we're here together. We need to know each other. If we're gonna have success, we need to connect the dots to a successful community. What does that look like? Not you jumping in the car and not speaking to them. Not you riding past me. The only time I see, if you put a notice on my door of a parking enforcement or law, or this building is trapped, and you don't even speak to me? No. So here's this. I know my time is up. So I was gonna introduce you guys. Then rules to govern. I had 1 to 2 minutes asking questions or responding. No speaking out of term, disruptions while others are speaking. I would have security. I was gonna ask you to have security. Because I don't play in the meeting. Respect others' perspective, whether you agree with me or not. Opinions, whether you agree or not. Nothing comes out of chaos but chaos. And attack the issue and not the person.
That's right.
Here's the other part. The items, a report card on the town. You guys can give a report card on the town. The vision, the goals, objectives, the process, the current status. This is what I was gonna send you guys. Increasing revenue. How do you increase revenue, streams of income, and improvements? And then here's the other thing to frame it, and I'm done. There'll be questions from the residents and town leadership to respond. And there will be a timer for you to respond. Then to ask the question, time to respond. Because this is from 6 to 9. I was gonna break that down so I'm finished and sufficient time. So the police department, Chief Morgan, who is the chief? People need to know who the chief. How many officers? Hours of operation. Typically, if I call, it depends on when I call, I get the PG County police. I don't know if that happens to you guys. I just want to get out. Crime status in the town, goals for the department. What role can the residents play? How can they help you in your police department? That's what the National Night Out was about. So council terms and roles. What's your term, your council, your role? And what departments are you over programs? Somebody over recreation, somebody else over something. People, and you probably already discussed these things. And what is the vision, goal, and objectives in the current set? Mayor, what's your role and latitude of your work and authority? Public works, who's over public works? I got some trash, I got some leaves, I need to know certain things. Town administrators, parks and playgrounds. How many parks and playgrounds do we have? Do we advertise our parks and playgrounds? Don't finish. The last thing is this, it's fire and EMS. They come to my church and they don't speak. I don't care how sick somebody is. I'll say, good morning. I don't do racism. And if it's an issue, and we have an issue of the time, we need to address that. Now, I don't pay you to like me, you're paid to do a job. I don't even know if they're volunteers anymore, and I've always known the police department. Or if they work for the county, I don't know what they work for now. I don't know if they work for the county, I don't know. And then the last thing, employment opportunities for town residents. We may not get to all of that, but I didn't get a chance to have that conversation because I wanted to have a conversation about it with those that I was talking to, so that you can have some input and shaping the agenda. So when we finish, it won't be a revenue numbers meeting, it'll be our meeting. And when you come to the meeting, you're prepared. And you know what I hope, and I'm finished, Mayor and Council, that out of this meeting, you know what I hope come out of this? Further conversations.
Yes.
That we end with a palette, with people to say, man, I like that meeting. Wait a minute, can you write this? Can we talk about this? And we're not leaving with boxing gloves on. I want you to say that I love you guys. I gotta go because, and if you want to ask me something, I will stay because I'm open to my time with the person that's staying.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Enjoy the evening.
I have to say one thing.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. That was a bad impersonation of me.
I think they are spot on. Pardon me?
It's Friday, so you get everything to the council or?
Yes, what I'll do is,
The state?
I'm working with Missy, with my events coordinator, get me to the mark. I was trying to get it to y'all Friday because it came in on me so quick. And I'll just send it and you can scratch it up, send it back. But the things that I put on here, that's pretty much it. Because I want them to get to know you first.
Get it all.
And then after we get out of that, then we can go on from there. Chief,
Thank you.
thank you guys. Much love to y'all. Okay. And when I say I love you, I really do. Regardless of what my face says sometimes.
Thank you for the clarity and, for your presentation.
And thank you, Mayor. That does make, and when you start talking about semantics, that makes all, I was gonna say initially, the difference between town hall and a community meeting. Okay? Thank you.
Sir, okay,
See you, Mike.
See Friday.
okay. Mayor T.A. Ren, you got the floor.
Okay, so we're going on to the next one, which is the mayor and council salary increase resolution 2024-14. It's the town of Capitol Heights resolution 2024-14, introduced by town administrator. Resolution for mayor and council salary adjustment. Whereas the town of Capitol Heights is in support of a salary adjustment for mayor and council. Whereas the salary for mayor and council has not been adjusted for more than 14 years. Whereas the salary for mayor and council has not kept up with the cost of living increases. Whereas the salary for mayor and council of the surrounding municipalities have been adjusted or is being adjusted. Whereas the adjusted salary for the mayor is blank, that's up to the mayor and council to decide, and the adjusted salary for council is blank per annual. Whereas the salary adjustment for the mayor and council would take effect for the next administration and not the current administration. Be it finally resolved that this resolution will take effect upon adoption. Passed this blank day of September 2024 in town of Capitol Heights by mayor and council. Sorry, that was a typo. Mayor and council, which I don't know why I said common council, but just say mayor and council.
T.A. Ren,
Yes.
can you provide the council with your supporting evidence, please? I know you did a survey.
Yes, I actually did a survey of Seat Pleasant, Glenard, and Bladensburg, District Heights, and Cottage City. Seat Pleasant, all of them, if they haven't done it, they are doing it now. Seat Pleasant just recently, changed, their salary for mayor and council. Mayor used to be $11,118, now it's $15,000. Council used to be $7,360, now it's $15,000. Seat Pleasant just, neutralize everything, just made mayor and council to be the same, which is 15,000. Bladensburg, mayor's 12,000, council's 12,000 plus full benefits. Cottage City is currently basically going through their adjustment in terms of their salary, which I haven't gotten a chance to get from them, but they are actually currently adjusting their salary. District Heights is similar to us in the sense of their mayor is 6,006, well, around 7,000, and council is around 5,000. Again, they're also going through readjustment, reevaluation of what they're being, what the mayor and council are being paid. And then also in addition to this is you guys have not had frankly speaking, it's 14 years. But it's actually more than that. By talking to the mayor, if you go back to all the records, it's probably most likely 20 years. So I think it's time for you all to get this adjustment. And on top of that, we do have the revenue stream, which is not taking out of basically residence taxation, but rather from our speed camera as well as our stop camera fees that will be intaking, which will more than cover whatever you may be adjusting to, because I'm assuming you guys are very, people with integrity, you're not gonna go crazy amounts. It's a reasonable amount to keep up with the current inflation, as well as the current standard of living, as well as cost of living. And that's why I left it also blank for you guys to decide what the mayor should be and what the council member should be for the next administration, not the current one. So you'll be thinking for the people.
Okay, very good. Thank you. I'll open the floor. Councilwoman Amanda.
I think come back to me, please. Thank you.
Are you, okay, Councilman Wade?
Agree with the increase, but what's the dollar amount?
That's up to you guys to decide. I did make a suggestion.
Gave us a comparison with the different, what's the meal salary in Sea Pleasant or District High?
15,000
A year.
I year.
A year. Yes.
A year.
a year annually.
Yes, yes. Councilman James?
I support this resolution 100%. I just think that we need to work out the numbers.
Yes.
Yeah, that's Councilwoman Amanda. Okay.
I yield.
You got the floor.
Yeah, I just stay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Although you gave us you said that the money will come from the speed cameras and the stop sign cameras. Also, I guess we have to keep in mind that some of those places like Seat Pleasant or District Heights, they also have retail, so they can justify some of their increase. However, I still stand on, yes, we need an increase. It has been a long time and we are working to try to improve this town.
And then, and then,
I
and also I just wanted to make a note, like I said, you guys are very, people with integrity. You guys don't go off, deep end and ask for crazy amount of money. I just want to be sufficient enough whereby it keeps up with the cost of living these days. And I want you guys to bear in mind that, pre-pandemic, eggs were 99 cents, now it's $4.99 or $3.99. Cost of living has increased substantially. And then with that being said, I hope the town understand that there's no increase for you all for the last 20 plus years. Oh, I said 14 to be conservative, but most likely, actually not likely, I know it's more than 20. So I just want to take that into consideration for you guys. And again, it's up to you guys to decide what that is. I can make suggestions, but it's up to you guys to finally decide what that number might be.
Okay.
Mayor,
Yes, Scott.
I would like for you to, if at all possible, however you want to say it, I'm not giving you direction, to give us some suggestions on percentage wise, which goes on.
I think whatever, I'll give you several suggestions. Again, this is our first reading, so it was just open for discussion. And I'll give you some suggestions based on what the other municipalities are doing. So then you're in line with our surrounding municipalities.
I yield.
this is crazy. What can you make a year? I don't keep up.
6,000 is before.
Yeah.
That's
I
enough.
don't keep up with it. It's 6,000.
Lord, please.
I yield there. Okay. I just need a figure, you know, to.
Councilmember Manning. Tia Ren, can you please, what was Seat Pleasant that they just changed to?
15,000.
For mayor and council?
Yeah, mayor and council, they just equalized it across the board.
No, they did not. The voters did.
The voters did.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Please don't talk from.
Was she looking at me?
No, I'm,
Yeah, for the voters.
Sorry, that was my
I'm just
fault.
saying.
I should have looked at her.
I got you. I'm saying,
Sorry.
don't give it a look from the floor.
That's right.
Okay, don't give it a look. Okay, go ahead.
So it was 15,000, and it's for mayor and council. And then, Bladensburg is 12,000. And College City is making their adjustments as well, along with, different rights.
So my question is, because I did see that they, in Seat Pleasant, they voted on it when they just had their election into, how does this work with our, like what's stated in the charter and is this something that can just happen by a resolution? Or is there more steps to it to make it truly official for the next coming administration?
My understanding from the paperwork that was given to me previously, I was able to see the emails. It looked like it was already started previous when Bev was here. But unfortunately, it didn't really move forward because, at the time she departed. And then, so therefore, it just kind of stopped there. But my understanding is that once it goes into, again, so you guys are not deciding for yourself. So you guys are unbiased. You're deciding for the next administration. So they're looking towards you to be fair and, fair to the next generation or to the next administration that comes in. So it's like you're not talking about yourself, you're talking about the next group of folks that's coming. So that's actually fair.
It's not
Unbiased.
Excuse me for cutting you. It's not referendum, it's resolution.
Resolution.
Referendum is probably what she's saying, they
Yeah.
did it the voting time.
Yes.
The charter says you can do it by doesn't say it does, it just says that you can't do it for yourself. You
No.
have to do it for the
Yes,
incoming.
that's
So it's not self-serving, so
Nope.
it's you can do it by
Yes.
resolution. Because any changes to the charter
Yes.
can be done by resolution.
Yes.
We don't really do referendums in this town. We're not set up to do that, but I like that referendum. But I'm just saying, it would be by resolution.
And that's why I think this is fair. And because it's not self-serving, you're actually looking out for other people. You're not looking for yourself.
And we would be, you have the floor, I'll wait for you. Yep.
Sure. I was just looking at like where minimum wage was 14 years ago and then 20 years ago. So like in 2014, 2010, it was 725. 2004, which is 20 years ago, it was 515. Now we're at $15 for the state of Maryland. So if you're looking at those numbers within 14 years ago, it's double the amount. And 20 years ago, we're now triple the amount. So I'm not sure if that kind of guides where, some of that adjustment can be made if the 6,000, if it doubles to kind of fall in line with like where we are with how minimum wage was brought up to meet standards. I mean, that doubles to 12,000. So I'm just throwing a number out there to get us started where somewhere and then we can debate on higher, lower, but that would just be my recommendation for a starting number.
And again, it's not uncommon because like I said, another municipality, sorry.
Yeah, I know, thank you.
And then it's not uncommon because the other municipality has the same exact number. I can quote two other municipalities that have the same amount as you. Like I said, at the end of the day, you have to adjust for time and cost of living. I mean, let's be honest, I mean, bread was 5 cents in 1920s, right? Now it's like you can't do anything with 5 cents. So I just want to make sure that we're actually looking at where we're at in present and how we can adjust for present time. And again, you guys will not be self-serving because this is, again, you're looking out for the next administration that comes in. So it's unbiased.
You okay?
Yes.
I just wanted to add that, I do support it. And, it's the principle for me because I did my own survey. I did it 2 and 3 years ago. I've done it 4 and 5 years ago. It's a matter of other municipalities. Some make comparable, they've gone up, some make way more. So I'm not going and say, oh, well, we gotta make, I don't believe in tit for tat. But the logic is, nobody does this job for free. If that was the case, I wouldn't have a problem. Because I had told the town before I would volunteer. I offered my services anyway, we won't go there. But the point is, nobody that I checked in 27 municipalities does this job for free. So, in some places, they're actually full-time council. Not in, I don't know about Montgomery and PG County, but some places they're actually full-time, that's their job, full-time council, but they have a bigger population and full-time mayors. So I'm saying that for anyone thinking that council should not get a raise because we're public service, service, some of them make $500,000. I'm just not being sarcastic and they're public servants. So I'm just saying, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 is really, for 20 years, 20 years. So it's really kind of sad when I look at that because it's like this poor little town, and I'm going to be sarcastic. We spend money on so many other things, but the legislators, there's no recognition. And I mean, money is not everything by any means, but if it is a job that there is compensation attached to, you either say, well, it's a job, you get no compensation, you're just gonna be a volunteer council person, take that oath, but the government doesn't work like that. So if you are in a job that has compensation, I think 20 years or not being more compensated. And for those who want to know how I said 20 years, I got on the council in 13, I was elected. And 13 was the same money that we're making in 24. That's why I know it's 14 years. And before that, the administration before that was making the same money. So that's just my 2 cents on that. So where are we now, TA Ren? You want to come back to the table with recommendations?
Yes, I
You want to
do.
beat this one to death.
And then what we can do is, oh, may I have, did you yield or am I on?
You're okay.
Okay, so I will go with what Councilwoman Amanda has suggested. I'll just do like, I'll just give you guys a couple of options and the percentage difference and so forth. And you all can decide on what the next administration might potentially be looking forward to.
Thank you so much. And again, so many of the council put in hours and hours. I'm just gonna say, it. And as the mayor, I have my own small business, but sometimes I put in more hours as the mayor than I do for my own small business. And I do that because I do it from my heart, not begrudgingly. But since the topic did come up, I do support it. Anything else? Anybody? Okay, so we'll revisit whatever you say. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mayor and council comments?
Yeah, I just wanted to let everyone know that, we're moving steadfast with the stop sign cameras. I'm excited. We went out and we identified the different streets that the stop sign cameras will be on, and we'll give the list to the mayor and council. I'm very excited. Along with the stop sign camera, we're actually working with Verizon because there is like a dead zone in many areas in the town. And so
working with Verizon, we had our first meeting and they did identify some issues with their towers. And I can tell even from that meeting, in certain areas now in my neighborhood that I couldn't get reception, I can actually get reception. So they're still working on some things and we just did the, my area first, and then we're gonna go to different other areas and sections of the town where there is a dead zone, and we're gonna look into getting those resolved. So they did find some issues with, the technicians did find some issues with the, I don't know whether it was the towers or whatever, you know, because my argument was, we're in 2024, no one should have a dead zone at this time. So, they are working on it because one area we need that reception for the stop sign camera. So, those are just a couple of good things that came out of this week and for the entire town and the residents. So, and I do.
Okay, and I'd like to recognize Mayor Pro Tem Chu. She didn't pay me for this, for receiving her certification from University of Maryland. Excellence, it's a fellow certificate in, I'm not sure the proper name, but it's excellence in governance. And it's a field of study that all of us are required to take. And it's a very, very, not just commendable, I can't think of the proper word, but it is an honor really to achieve this certification. So I'm just like to say congratulations. Councilwoman Amanda, comments? Mayor's council comments?
No, thank you.
Councilman James?
Yes, I did receive back, I have 3 quotes back from different vendors for the proposed fee humps, and I will be presenting that next meeting. The quotes.
I don't forget to put on the agenda, please.
That's all I have. Yeah, thank you.
Councilman Wu? I told her to put you on for the vacation.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Ain't you enemy?
I know. Let me see. Just to piggyback on what the man said, at the ceremony yesterday, they are actually asking a lot of the fellows who received their certificate if they can continue on. They have a graduate program. They said this was the largest graduating class they have ever had, over 1,000 students. I mean, people who got their certificate. They would like people to continue on to get what they call touch barrier. I believe that's what it is. Right now, they only had 12 people, but they're asking people, once you get your fellow, if you can continue on to the graduate level. And I hear. Awesome. You say nothing? No, thank you. They have glasses on today.
I never noticed she has glasses half the time. Okay, anything else? We good? All right then. Yes, ma'am.
Can I just make a comment, because Councilwoman?
No, you can't.
Okay.
No, go ahead. I'm joking.
Okay, Councilwoman Ford is not here, because, you know, work and so forth. She wants to make sure that everybody's aware of the Sound the Alarm on October the 5th, which is a great event. That's basically, the company, it's a group effort between Town of Capitol Heights, Police, the Park Police, American Red Cross, and also the, County Fire Department, and also the council, and from Town of Capitol Heights. Will be held at the, Capitol Heights Elementary School. It will start at 9 o'clock and it will finish at 2:30. It's an opportunity where they will have multitude of programs and classes to teach basically our town residents and anyone who wants to come, fire safety, carbon monoxide safety, and how to figure out an escape route in case of fire. So it's going to be very informative and productive and educational. And I hope everybody will be going. It's Saturday, October the 5th. At the Capitol Heights Elementary School. And I've already contacted Capitol Heights Elementary School, and we're getting full support also from Principal Barry. So I just want to put that out there. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it.
Chief, was there any little brief comment you wanted to make? I know you're not on the agenda, because I know you do full reports, but you want to say anything?
No, I just want to echo what the TA said about this event. This is something we started having a conversation with the fire department probably 3 weeks ago. And just to remind the council members that we've had one fire already in the town just this past weekend in London Woods, I think it was. And then we had another one in London Woods about a year and a half ago. Where they were burnt out. These fires can go up really quickly. Cooking on the stove, you forget something, and boom, all of a sudden the house is engulfed. And we're seeing this in real time. So I'm encouraging those who are still here and those who are on the feed to participate, but I'm sure we'll get some more information up. But this program is actually kind of being led by the fire department. We're supporting it from the periphery to make sure people move throughout the town safely once we get out to the communities. And trying to get folks to update their smoke detectors. So thank you, Mayor, for that time.
All right, thank you, Chief. Okay, I'm gonna pass this resolution around too. Back to you. Okay, so you're on, right? And we'll be done.
Yeah, sorry, there's so many resolutions I put together, sorry about that. Okay, so Town of Capitol Heights is an ordinance, actually. Ordinance 2024-05, drafted by Town Administrator, introduced by Mayor Pro Tem Latanya Chu. An ordinance concerning stop sign monitoring system. Purpose, to authorize the use of stop sign monitoring system throughout the incorporated Town of Capitol Heights, Maryland. Amending the Code of Ordinance number 2023-001 of the Town of Capitol Heights, speed camera enforcement monitoring on residential streets. To implement the authority of Maryland Code and Transportation Art 21-707.1 in accordance with the provisions thereof, and to amend failure to pay fine for red light camera or speed camera violation to add stop sign monitoring system violations. Whereas pursuant to 5-202 of the Local Government Article of the Annotated Code of Maryland, the Council of the Town of Capitol Heights, Maryland, the Town Council has authority to adopt such ordinance as it deemed necessary to protect the health, safety, and welfare of the residents of the municipality. And whereas effective July 1st, 2024, Maryland Code and Transportation Art 21-707.1, TR 21-707.1 will authorize the city or town to implement a stop sign monitoring system, provided the city or town has enacted legislation implementing such a program. And whereas the mayor and council believe the implementation of a camera-based stop sign monitoring system in conformance with the requirement of TR 21-707.1 is in the best interest of the town and its residents. Section 1, now thereof be it ordained and enacted by the mayor and council of the Town of Capitol Heights that stop sign monitoring system be and hereby is added to the town code. Section 2, and be it further ordained and enacted that any prior ordinances adopted in enacting any provision of section 8-308 of Article 3 of said code or any other ordinance or resolution previously adopted pertaining to a subject or subjects embodied by the title of this ordinance or the provision found herein shall be deemed repealed and superseded by the provision of this ordinance. Should a previously enacted ordinance cover a provision or subject that is not covered by this ordinance, it shall remain in full force and effect unless it directly conflicts with express language of this ordinance. Section 3, and be it further ordained and enacted that this ordinance shall take effect immediately following adoption by the town council, having been passed by the required yea and nay votes of the mayor and council of the Town of Capitol Heights. Now therefore be it resolved by the mayor and council as review the request, agree that this resolution take effect immediately upon its adoption. Passed blank day of September 2024 to take effect immediately upon adoption. Please note this was introduced on August the 5th, 2024, and this is my second reading.
Just to, I'm gonna go into that, but this one was picked up, because you did the hand things, you need to initial it. You did changes on here, with your hand also.
Okay, sure.
Just initial
No, but that's just for you guys to, which one?
No, this one has passed.
Oh, okay, sure, of course, I will do that.
Yeah, just make sure you're
Okay.
initial, because you did markups, because.
Oh, sure, okay. I'll
Thank
think
you,
of-
Tia.
thank you. Oh, so that was, okay, that was
Yeah,
good.
thank you so much.
Okay,
Because we signed it.
okay.
Okay, so now, you want to do your little